don't have a camera that works.
That's fine. So just, do you want me to go towards this side? Or?
Yeah, maybe somewhere centerish. Here-ish.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you want?
Yeah, just the direction there.
Okay, not a problem.
Cool. So they just wait for the backdrop and for...
Oh, get that. For the future here, boy.
You know they say can't trap, can't play, but you're okay.
Definitely can track.
Thank goodness.
Are you go for?
Yeah.
Right cheese, perfect. Face that away.
Face that away. Okay.
So,
Well, I'll let
a bit back. Yeah.
Happy? Cool. And then you want the skippers alongside. They, you know, face that way. The camera is super zoom. With this.
Can I just get a...
Give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready.
mindset from the get-go. We were also looking to bowl first, but I have a lot of confidence in our batting lineup to have a strong start today.
Any changes to the side?
Yes, myself. I'm in Kirsty Thompson and Shabnam Ishmael coming in today.
Best game.
Thank you so much.
And the news from the middle is that the DP World Lions will be fielding as the Six Gungal Godfrey Badgers have won the toss. Badgers are batting. Yeah.
We batting.
Okay, do you want to do that again? Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
second game for these two sides. The DP World Lions playing host to the Six Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers. Badgers deciding after winning the toss that they'll have a field, a couple of patches of grass and maybe something in it for them. They struggled a little bit yesterday, so looking to turn things around. Sarah Barber, good morning to you.
Good morning, David, and welcome everyone to this beautiful day at the DP World Wanderers Stadium. I think possibly the Badgers having a field first after realizing yesterday that it moves a bit more earlier on in the day and flattens out, making it easier to bat later on.
Yeah, it's a difficult one when you haven't yet gotten a win this season. So the Badgers, I'm sure, will like to make early inroads into this Lions side. And Sarah, there was a couple of changes to this side, and you were mentioning a little bit before on our build-up off-air that there was changes not because of lack of performance yesterday, but rather to try and keep consistency among the T20 fixtures.
Definitely, I think you know, we've got a lot of players with different abilities. Some players are more suited to 50 overs, and the Lions also have players that are more suited to 20 over cricket. And the experience of Kirsty Thompson coming back in, and Madison Landsman, who we know is quite an explosive cricketer, and Shabnam Ismail coming in for the seamers.
Yeah, she's going to play an important role with ball in hand, as she almost always does. She did well in that game against the Knights, just a little bit expensive, and that will hopefully switch things around. The Lions coming undone against the Knights, as I said, whilst the Badgers weren't successful in their last game against the Dolphins, so wanting to make amends here. There's a slight delay here as we are about to get underway. Andrews will be opening the bowling from the golf course end, and Sunette Fulyunlo, after a phenomenal effort yesterday with the bat in hand, will be facing up first. Our umpires for this morning are Zubair Saleh and Amy Gear. Just a quick signal to the scorers. Are we ready? And Zubair Saleh says, let's play. We're just slightly early on the time there. Just a few seconds before we get underway, so making sure they start precisely at 10 a.m. and there's the call for play. One slip in place, third man and a cover sweeper out. And driven nicely there, but not able to beat the inner ring.
Good pick up there by cover.
What do you make of yesterday's performance, Sarah? It was one that the Lions will certainly obviously be the happier of the two sides, but Pro20 action can just shift the momentum of these games so quickly, and there's not necessarily time to recover. There's early wickets in the Lions innings, so maybe they'll want to repair things. I'll get your thoughts after this. Just plays this behind square, and there'll be one for it, and so the Lions are off the mark. What do you make of yesterday's performance from these two sides?
I think the Six Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers had a decent start, but losing those early wickets, they were a bit explosive with Jan and Nell coming in, but losing that wicket was really a bit of quite a blow to them. But also the Lions losing those early wickets yesterday really didn't do them any good, but luckily for the Lions, they have a very deep batting lineup. Faye Cowling coming in at number 8 and scoring that magnificent 80 odd, and Sunette Fulyunlo's partnership really saved the Lions yesterday.
A bit of an outside edge. It's floated away down to the short third region, and
now they each have a run. And Faye Cowling's had a really good season thus far. It's only a short one because we're in match 2 of the Pro20 series for these two sides, but she's really made sure that she's tried to contribute with both bat and ball, and it's such an asset to any coaching side, Sarah.
Definitely, she's been a phenomenal all-rounder. Against the Knights in the Pro20, she took 2 wickets for 8 runs in 3 overs, so very economical and great bowling.
Just luring her into the false stroke there, really try to lean over that one, did Sunette Fulyunlo, and this is a good start by Andrews. Just 2 balls remaining in the first and keeping things quiet thus far.
This is what the Badgers did really well yesterday, just bowling nice and outside the off, and then it moving away and sometimes tickling the wide line and really tempting the Lions batters, and there were a few hands thrown at a few balls, which nearly got them into a bit of trouble.
Or struck on the pad. There's a loud appeal, but it looks like it'll go away for leg byes. Well, that's unfortunate when it does happen. It's never fair on the bowler nor the wicketkeeper, but it's fortune for the DP World Wanderers, and that will mean the score is now 6 without loss.
Sunetful Yunlo hasn't really been seeming like her usual self in the T20, coming out guns blazing. She's been a bit more tentative, it seems, today.
There was a huge shot once again, and this time she gets the rub of the green. Andrews gets Fulyun Low struck in front, and this one left no doubt in the mind of the umpire.
That's great bowling straight up from the Badgers. They have really put the DP World Lions under quite a lot of pressure in the first over. 6 for 1. Sunetful Yunlo departing for just the 1 run is not an ideal situation for the DP World Lions.
Stark contrast from yesterday's performance, in which she really galvanized a fight back for the DP World Lions. As you said, she just looked a little bit tentative, maybe a little bit cautious early on, mindful of the ball doing a little bit early on, and so she's found herself struck in front, trapped on the crease, and that brings Kirsty Thompson to the wicket.
And this will be Kirsty Thompson's first game this season, being out for the first 2 games against the Knights due to an injury, and I suppose luckily for the Lions, Kirsty Thompson is back, and what a great experienced player. She adds so much to the team. Also winning player of the season last season for the DP World Lions.
Bowling change, well, not bowling change, starting from the caller drive in, it's Mate. The slip remains in place. This time, however, third man and fine leg in place. So those are the 2 fielders out. Remember, the maximum is 2 outside the field, outside the inner ring rather, in the outfield in the first 6 overs of the game.
What do you think of this field setting, David? We mentioned it a bit yesterday, but I'd love to get your opinion on it after this ball.
Looked uncomfortable there with that one.
Good start by Mate. I suppose the question is, what are the plans that they are looking at in terms of their lengths and lines? Because if you're going to have a very wide, third man and fine leg, you're obviously looking to give yourself some protection. Maybe bowling a little bit shorter, maybe back of a length.
Very attacking field.
Just a waft at that one. Umpire Amy Gear says that's the first wide of the morning.
Just off your screen, there's a fielder just lurking right there to the left-hand side. It's almost close in mid-wicket, maybe for that mistimed push. Again, unconvincing stroke there from Tabete. Really undone by the bowling here thus far. It's a good start by Mate.
This is sort of the start that the 6th Gun Girl Garden Route Badgers had yesterday, but at least 3 overs each into their spells, both bowlers' discipline sort of fell away, and there were a lot of extras and a lot of short balls. But I suppose maybe luckily for them, this is a shorter format and they'll be able to hold their discipline for a bit longer.
Sliced away and bowling exactly as planned when you've got that fielder out there at third man, so the single is forthcoming. kind of mindset shift is there between the 50 over competition and the 20 over competition? There's such a short gap between the two.
I think the mindset would definitely be to play a bit more of an explosive game of cricket, and the Six Gun Girl Garden Route Badgers have had a very attacking field, so I suppose it suits the T20 mindset.
Carved away, it beats the inner ring. Glorious field here at the Wanderers means it's going to run away for 4. Lovely boundary. Release the pressure a little bit. I just said that Mate had bowled such a good start to her over, but a little bit of extra width, and that's carved away, beaten the fielder. And 4 runs are most welcome.
And Kirsty Thompson is definitely someone you don't want to be giving with. She really does love a cut, and she's been very successful here at the DP World Wanderers, cutting the ball.
Wayward onto the pads, whipped away. There's no protection out there in the deep. So back-to-back boundaries here. Kirsty Thompson getting a bit of a freebie there, not missing out.
Yeah, and it's absolutely raced away. If you know the Wanderers really well, you'll know that the outfield is very compact, so that means it's very quick. So if you get it through the inner ring and there's no protection out there, chances are you're going to get rewarded for your shot with a 4.
So no change in the field, knowing that it was a little bit of a wayward one. This one's outside the off, and she's just leaned into that magical stroke. 3 in a row. It's 12 from the over thus far. Oh, rather, that's the end of the second. 20 for 1.
That's a brilliant start from Kirsty Thompson, and that must have relieved a lot of pressure to her partner, Nonkululeko Tabete, and also the dugout for the DP World Lions.
It was an over of 2 halves, really.
A great start, and then a bit of a wayward fall, I'd say.
Right, so change from the fielding perspective. Andrews going with third man and fine leg. Foolish delivery, not able to time it as well as she would have liked. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, the ICC Women's World T20 Final, as South Africa take on New Zealand. First time winners in prospect. And we will be shouting loudly for the Momentum Proteas women as they look to lift the trophy. Bit of a misfield means that they're able to sneak away for a single.
That was also one of the, I suppose, the issues the Badgers had yesterday. A lot of misfields tapped onto the boundary, a few drop catches which could have really done them well to put the Lions under a bit more pressure in the latter part of the DP World Lions batting innings.
Good comeback and making certain of getting a clean take there at backward point. And Sarah, what have you made of the national side's performance in this year's World T20 back-to-back World Cup finals?
I think it's very impressive, and it just shows you where the cricket is going in South Africa, and it shows you the support the women are getting from CSA to improve and move forward in the game. And it's really lovely to see that they get into the finals, and hopefully it brings more exposure to the women's game and gets a lot more young people interested in it.
In front, umpire immediately says no. Maybe straying a little bit down leg side. But again, those dot balls in this format of the game are so invaluable, especially when Kirsty Thompson hit those 3 boundaries in the previous over. You want to make sure that you keep her quiet. You've done the work to get rid of Sunette Viljoen low early. You don't want to let the taps flow freely for the Lions. It's well bowled by Andrews. Well bowled.
Definitely She seems to be a lot fuller in her second over than she was when she started. She was sort of back of the length initially, and now she's on the fuller end. But with Kirsty Thompson, it seemed they have a cover sweeper out, just protecting that boundary, knowing Kirsty loves that side of the field.
Straighter this time. Good support from the fielding side. They really want to G up their bowlers. It's the end of 3. It's 21 for 1. Just don't forget as well that there's a fan park here at the DP World Wanderers, as well as at Willamore Park in Benoni, so you can watch all the action live on your favorite camping chair or the glorious seating here at the DP World Wanderers. You'll be able to watch in hope of the Proteas women lifting a trophy in the first ICC World Cup trophy for a South African side. Change of bowling from the quarter drive in. It's De Jong.
Haven't seen much of her so far this season.
Well, it's certainly an opportunity to show off her skills.
It definitely is, and it's always so great for newer players to get opportunities at such iconic grounds and playing professional cricket, obviously.
It's a good start here. She's got a cow corner sweeper and a deep square leg in place, and Andrew's just sharing some encouragement for her. Good energy in the field here from the Six-Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers.
They started off very well like this yesterday and then sort of died off a bit as the innings went on.
Good bit of fielding means they only get the one. Throwing the bodies around here. Nell showing how it's done.
Faith de Jong did play against the Hollywoodbets Dolphins on their previous encounter and didn't take any wickets but went for 16 runs in her 3 overs. She was the most economical bowler for the Six-Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers on the day.
Just didn't know all that much about her. Maybe a little bit of extra bounce. Thompson striding away to a short leg region, just maybe to collect her thoughts. It's youth versus experience in this contest, and so far the scales tipping towards the youngster. She's got protection out there in the deep, so it'll just be the one. What would you imagine, Sarah, is a score that the DP World Lions would be happy with?
I'd definitely say that 140 is a total you'd probably want to set at the DP World Wanderers, especially considering the conditions. When the pitch flattens out, it'll be easier for the batters to score. So 140 would be a defendable goal.
Good bit of work there in the field means it's a squeaky single. I think that's what the Lions need to look at. They really have to look to rotate the strike, put pressure on the fielders on the ring, because if boundaries aren't forthcoming, you've got to feel like you're still keeping that scoreboard ticking along.
And considering they have so many fielders sitting on the ring, they do have that soft hands option.
Bunted away, got a hand to it, which means they'll think about the second, but only go for the single. 24 for 1, and that concludes the 4th over. Thompson on 14. Tabete from her time at the crease is on 5, and that's first wicket after the Six-Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers decided that they will have a bowl, winning the toss. And Nicolene Janssen van Rensburg just saying she feels like there's a little bit more in the surface. If you're going to get something in the first hour, this is the time for it.
Definitely, and they'll want to capitalize on the power play knowing how important the power play overs are, considering that there are only 2 fielders allowed out in the power play. It gives you more boundary opportunities, allowing, you would hope, for high scoring opportunities.
Right, and a change of bowling from the golf course end. Bonya. The field is out for her. Long on and a cow corner region, so it's a deepish mid-wicket. A little bit of swing on offer there, tucked away off the pads. There's a shot at the non-strikers end, but it's a throw that's not as convincing as I suppose she would have liked. The umpire signals leg byes.
Very quick between the wickets and clear calling.
Outside edge. They dispensed with the slip. And that is exactly where the ball has gone. I'm not quite sure she'll be convinced of the control of that shot, but nevertheless it's the effective one. And that'll take them to 30 for 1. 4 runs.
That one just slightly moved away from the batter. Not much, but it was a little bit of a nip away from the batter, Nonkululeko Tabete, and just edged it for 4.
Straight to this time, just the 1.
Nonkululeko Tabete, who's at the non-strikers end against the Knights in the Pro20 series, scored 52 or 56.
Oh, that was a horrendous delivery, just slipping out the hand, and the keeper tried to put in the stop, but it's 4 wides, and that is not an ideal outcome for the 6-gun Grill Garden Red Badgers. Maybe just slipping out of the hand, the new ball, greasier surface here.
It also looked like, I could be very wrong, but I'd need to see a replay. It almost looked like she released it a tad too early and didn't really follow through properly. There you go, like that one.
Well, there you go. It's the same result in terms of the score. It's 2 boundaries in a row. But just able to squeeze that one away.
So that one being straighter, it looked like her hand was more at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rather than the previous delivery that went for wide and 4, so 5 wides, was almost at like 2, 3 o'clock. It was very wide, so maybe not using that front arm properly and bringing herself through nicely.
Keeper now moving back. She was up to the stumps for the first few deliveries. And that one will be a wide. Uyolwe to Bonya. It's 15 in this first over. It's really expensive.
And only 4 legal deliveries bowled so far.
Just one fielder on the offside out and one on the on. Much better delivery here. She's thinking about getting going, is Dr. Thompson. And Tabete is just saying, hold on. I just want to see if it gets past the fielder. Not to be. So they'll have to try and find a way to score elsewhere.
I suppose they've rather, the pressure has been relieved a little bit after that previous over where it was very economical compared to this over that's already gone for 15, which has relieved a lot of pressure for the batters.
Outside edge. Will be a few bounces before it reaches that 3rd man fielder, so just the 1 there. That concludes the 5th over. 1 remaining in the power play. It's 42 for 1.
And it looks a bit like Nonkululeko Tabete is changing her bats, maybe not quite happy with the one she had in hand.
For those watching at home, what is the reason that most players change the bat? Is it maybe the weight that they're looking for, a bit of a lighter or a heavier bat, or maybe they just feel like the sound coming out of it because of the wear and tear of the bat is not where they want it to be?
It could possibly be that Tabete has a newer bat and an older bat, and it's not coming out the middle nicely, or maybe it's gotten a crack and we don't know about it. Or sometimes different bats have different pickups, and for different situations you'll need different pickups.
Short and pulled away straight to the fielder. It's a bit of a long hop, and Thompson is furious with herself because she's just shoveled it straight to that fielder on the onside. It's a good catch. It's the second wicket down for the DP World Lions, and it's 42 for 2.
I suppose maybe the wicket situation is not the most ideal, not having Kirsty Thompson in, but I wouldn't say they'd be too disappointed with the rate achieved, considering they had, we'll just watch the replay quickly, it was outside ball for Kirsty Thompson, just pulls it straight to that straight and mid-wicket fielder, and it departs for 19 runs. I suppose they wouldn't be too happy with the wicket situation, considering they've now lost 2 wickets in the power play, but the rate achieved is not something you'd be unhappy with, considering it's 8.1.
And she'll be terribly disappointed with herself with the delivery. She, under normal circumstances, would have decided should have been dispatched to the boundary. Just finding the fielder there. Madison Landsman coming to the wicket. She's also the captain for today. So hoping to turn her team's fortunes around, as they haven't yet won a game. Just the one game played, that one in Bloemfontein. And the 2 fielders out for Faith de Jong are those cow corner and deep square fielders. Keeper up to the stumps.
It's a good start. Good start.
Welcome to the crease.
Yeah, Madison Landsman, Mann's first game back this season after missing out in Bloemfontein due to injury.
For 2, as you said, that run rate just over 7.5, and if they're going to achieve a good score here, they're going to need some partnerships. Will the DP World Lions?
Nearly her own undoing there. She nearly chopped that one on, trying to get at it. She just wants bat on ball, but Faith de Jong is adamant in trying to disrupt her building of an innings here.
Definitely Faith de Jong having a very good start so far. A wicket and 3 dot balls.
This one's guided behind backward point. That'll race away to the boundary. A good way to release the pressure that was building. Just open the blade, and it was boundary bound once it missed the inner ring fielder. 46 for 2.
Definitely. That one a bit wider, and it moved away and just gave Madison Landsman the opportunity to open the face of the bat and get that through that gap.
Outside half of the bat. It's gone square. It was in the air for a time,
But it's a boundary, and it's a glorious, glorious way to end the over for the DP World Lions. That brings up the 50 at the end of the power play. It's 50 for 2.
There you go, as we see the replay. That was a really good length just outside off, and just sort of punched that with a back face a tad bit open, allowing it to get through that gap between points and cover.
Right, so the power play done, and now fielding changes can be made. Would you say the game is slightly in favor of the Badgers because of those 2 important wickets that they've managed to pick up early here?
I think if Tabete and Landsman can form a partnership, I'd say the Badgers are more in trouble than the DP World Lions. But at the moment, I think the scales are almost a bit balanced due to the high run rate, but then the wicket losses. So The Badgers do have some favour, but so do the DP World Lions.
Right, time for a change in the bowling. Jana Nel from the golf course end, introducing some spin. And just the 3 fielders out. Long on, long off, and a cow corner. Bit of extra width, slashed straight to the fielder. Not able to pierce that inner ring. She'll want to bowl a little bit tighter here. The ball doesn't turn as much as other venues, and perhaps with the dry surfaces in Oudtshoorn, you might be tempted to toss it up. Change in the field, sweeper going out to the covers. Got a ball stump to stump here at the Wanderers.
Definitely.
That's much better. That'll be 1.
Generally, we will off spin here at the Wanderers because it doesn't turn that much. It's very effective in trying to make a batter play across the line, so almost forcing errors, taking the pace off, meaning the batter will have to try and find pace to make, so that often forces a few errors.
Change of action. Nell deciding she wants to come around the wicket. Fire it into those pads. So deep square, long on, long off. And a cow corner. Lovely delivery. Flighted that one. Just floats it there, trying to invite the false stroke.
I suppose that change of angle also makes it a tad bit difficult for the batters currently in.
That's exactly what I said, firing it in at that leg stump. And it's always going to be difficult in terms of where the ball pitches. When you do come around the wicket as a right-arm bowler, naturally the ball is likely to land outside leg stump and not be of consideration for the umpires, but that one was pretty straight.
Definitely was a bit straight, and Madison Landsman looked like she was just trying to swat it away or sweep it away, but it was a tad too full and didn't quite get there.
Good control with ball in hand here. Asking all the right questions of Madison Landsman.
That change of angle was really, really clever. And it seems like there's also been a tad, a slowdown in pace maybe.
Swatted hard. It's a good sweep shot. It beats the fielder out there in the deep. And just releasing just a little bit of pressure. It's the end of 7. It's 55 for 2. I'm going to make way for Mpho Motlwane.
Madison Landsman is a great player of the sweep shots and scoop shots. So if a spinner or any bowler misses their line, Madison Landsman is the type of player to go, if you miss our hits. Welcome, Mpho. What do you think so far of the game that's gone on?
Thanks, Sarah. It's good to be here. I thought the Lions have done quite well with the start that they've had. They haven't been able to find the boundaries, but as the overs went by, Kirsty Thompson and Madison Landsman have been able to find the boundary. You would expect them to probably push on from this point on. 55 after 7 is a good start and a good foundation. And he's won a big total.
Definitely. And what do you think about the rate achieved versus 2 wickets lost in the power play? Do you think that's going to affect the Lions quite a bit or not really?
Look, I think the Lions bat quite deep, and so you expect that those coming in will be able to get this rate achieved higher to probably about 10 and over or even 9.
And that's a change of bowling from the caller drive in, Abrams coming into the attack. That first ball going for no run. Nonkululeko Tabete on strike as Abrams comes in for the second ball, and that one's a bit straight and sort of hits a bit on the up and one bounce before it reaches the bowler.
Yes, leg spin is a tough art to control, and she's doing so well so far.
Definitely trying to get that wrist over and working. And that's been hit straight to mid wicket for no run.
And this is where the Badgers were hoping to try and suppress the Lions for boundaries, and they're doing so well so far.
Definitely. That one's caught a wide. It's just a bit wayward.
You know, because the Yana Nell over previously, that last four was just something that made it look bad, but very good over from her.
Yes, definitely. The spin so far has really put pressure on the Lions batters. That one is punched on the back foot all the way to the cover sweeper for just the one run. But spin has definitely put some pressure on the Lions batters here, you know, taking the pace off and then having to try and find the pace to put on to try and get to the boundary. Abrams in again to Madison Landsman. She uses her feet and gets it down to the cover sweeper for just the one run.
You get a sense that one of these two batters needs to be a little bit more aggressive to try and push the pace, especially with the wickets that they have manned.
That one's outside off and punched again, just past the point fielder to the cover sweeper. And Madison Landsman wants a second, but Tabete is not interested. I definitely do think one of these batters will have to push on, and I think Tabete has the ability to push on, but she plays the game really well as someone who's going to be stable and stay there for quite a while. So we might see Madison Landsman taking the role of pushing on a bit more, but maybe I could be wrong, and Tabete will be doing that. At the end of the 8th over, the DP World Lions are 59 for the loss of 2.
Yes, and you also got to give credit to the Badgers who started bowling well post the power play. Yana Nell and Abrams have not given them.
It's just outside off, and Madison Landsman hit that on the up and just gets the one. Speaking about Nadine Moodley, a very experienced cricketer, she retired from the Dolphins in April 2022 and came back this season to play for the Six Gun Grill Garden Route Badgers. So a world of experience, but maybe just a few mistakes this weekend. Yana Nell in again. This one's a bit straighter, and Tabete hits it to the long on-fielder for just the one run.
Yes, that one was just too full and not going to cause any trouble for the batters. But Nadine Moodley will be disappointed in that second chance that she has dropped, that stumping chance.
Definitely a big chance, and that can make the world of difference. That one's a bit straighter. Madison Landsman scoops that, and there's a fielder under there. Are they going to get there? No. It's being put down.
Tough chance there for Nicoline Janse van Rensburg, running to try and get that ball, but she just couldn't get there, and that's the unfortunate times there for the Garden Route Badgers women after the 9th over.
Definitely, and I'm sure they're going to be. Let's watch the replay. Nicoline Janse van Rensburg just not getting there. I don't think she set off quick enough really to get there, but it was a good effort nonetheless.
Yeah, if I was a coach, I'd be sitting there going, 2 hands, girl, 2 hands. But one's enough, because you kind of get a sense that she did get there. But just everything was just good. She was just falling over and just lost her balance.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure the coaches will be very... not quite the happiest after those opportunities all going down in one over.
That's 2 opportunities.
After the 9th over, the DP World Lions are 66 for 2 with Giselle Abrams coming back into the attack to Madison Landsman. That one's a bit full and it's been driven into the deep cover region, and that's picked up by Mate, and they're taking the 2 runs. Will they get there? And there's a big shout, and umpire Zubair Saleh says not out. That's great running, but it was very close call.
Wrong end, and you were not going to be expecting Kakazi Mate to pick the non-strikers, and she's always looking for the danger end, but Nonkuleko Tabete took a while to set off.
That's good running from those 2, but luckily the ball, as you said, didn't go to the non-striker's end. And again, this one's a bit straighter and flatted, a bit of a full toss, and Madison Landsman slaps that to the cow corner region for just the one run.
She'd be disappointed at that. That looked very juicy, and I would have backed her to take on that fielder there at cow corner.
It definitely would have backed her too. I think didn't quite get up on it, sort of hit it flat. That one's outside off, and it's been driven straight to the extra cover fielder for no run.
Yana Nell's in all is in all the action today. It's not with the ball is chasing her in the field.
Yeah, definitely. Abrams, and again, that's outside off and flatted, and straight to the extra cover fielder again. as you mentioned, Johannesburg getting all the action today.
Yeah, she must be asking Abrams to be like, don't flight it so high. Maybe just dot one in so someone else can get the ball.
Very possibly. Abrams, and again it's a straighter, and Tabete tries and sweeps it. And it's gone round the legs, it looks like. Tabete has just been bowled round the legs. What a wicket.
Yes, a wicket you wouldn't expect, but because Giselle Abrams is a leg spinner, that's the type of wicket she dreams about, to bowl a batter around her legs. And Nonkululeko Tabete goes for 15 off 23. She has been quite slow in her going, and Giselle Abrams making sure that this train ends here for Tabete. Great bowling from Abrams.
It's quite interesting actually that as we watch, there you go, leg stump line, and it just goes around the legs. Probably a tad too full to sweep in my opinion.
The line's not a sweepable line anyway. It's going down leg, and she just missed it completely. And it speaks to, as you spoke before, around how Tabete always liked to get inside of the ball and then play it down the leg side. This time she got two inside and her leg stump was gone. So that leaves the line 69 for 3 with Karabo Meso coming in.
Interestingly enough, there's been 2 wickets this weekend around the legs. One from Abrams and the other from Faye Cowling yesterday, which was quite an interesting sight.
Yes, I wasn't expecting that one from Faye Cowling, but she does get the ball to nip across the right-hander, and with that whole technique of just getting on off and trying to play off the leg side, leg stump is always exposed, and it was a lovely wicket from Faye.
Definitely. The new batter, Karabo Miso, is one of the SA under-19 players who have been included in the Ireland inbound tour. Abrams, and again, it's very straight, and Karabo Miso just defends that for no run.
Yes, Karabo Miso has been included in that SA under-19 inbound tour with hopes of getting to that World Cup next year, at the beginning of the year next year. And so she was at the last World Cup here in South Africa, and now she's most likely going to the next one. And she's looking really good. I've been asking around as to where she's been, but in the off-season she was doing a lot of work, and we can see now she's in the DP World line starting 11.
Definitely. In the off-season, she was actually at a club in Ireland called Hollywood Cricket Club, in the northern part of Ireland. So scored a lot of runs there. I think she gave the bowlers up in Ireland quite a bit of trouble.
That's good. Bodes well for South African cricket if Karabo Miso is firing really good with the gloves and also good with the bat as well. Last round in the 50 overs, she scored 100.
Yeah, it was a very impressive innings that was. And now we have Michaela Andrews coming back into the attack from the golf course end.
Yes, the Garden Route Badgers are smelling a little bit of blood, looking for a wicket, going to their strike bowler.
This one's a bit wide, and Madison Landsman sort of slowly gets her hands through there, but misses out, and that is a drop ball to start the over. Michaela Andrews, 3rd over.
I found her in the initial spell to be quite astute in her bowling towards her field, being able to bowl to the leg side, to bowl it straight. And this side, it looks like she's going to be bowling to an offside dominant field, so she has to keep it outside off.
Definitely. The 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers have done really well to bowl to their field. That one's a bit straighter and it's driven. But Michaela Andrews picks that up, and that is another dot ball to Michaela Andrews, 3rd over.
Yes.
She's done well so far, having gotten 1 wicket and only gone for 3 runs.
Yes, and the Badgers will not be angry at the fact that she's getting dots right now. It's what they need to stem this run flow.
Definitely, and it'll put a lot of pressure on the DP World lines. And again, this one's a bit wider, and it's driven to the long off fielder for just the 1 run. And the new batter at the crease, Karabo Miso, taking guard.
Let's see if she will start with a flurry of boundaries similar to Kirsty Thompson with her 3 and Madison Landsman with her 2. So
definitely would be a great pressure release for her to start off in such a manner. Andrews in again, this time to Karabo So it's a bit straighter, and she tries to work it around her pads, and it's called a wide ball by umpire Zubair Saleh, and that is going to go for just the 2 runs. It doesn't run away to the boundary, surprisingly. Thought that one might.
Outfield playing a little bit slower today
Definitely.
than what you normally get.
I think there's been a lack of rain, so it's been a bit difficult for the grass, etc. So it can become a bit bobbly and slow down a bit quicker.
I think the groundsmen are just waiting for the grass to grow a little bit for them to get one last cut as the season goes through. It is still early season here at the Wanderers.
Definitely. Michaela Andrews in again. It's a bit straighter, and Karabo Miso seems to almost play across the line a bit. It's not really a straight bat shot, so that goes for no run.
It's as though she's waiting to play that ball down the leg side, so she's presenting a horizontal bat. Gives a sense of a little bit of premeditation, but she's waiting for that straight ball to play to the leg side, because she can see that the leg side is where there's the least amount of fielders.
Definitely. That one is going to be called wide. Just goes past the wide line. I suppose with the field setting the way it is, with that cow corner out there, and then there's that mid-on and mid-wicket sort of fielder, some batters would change their setup and move all the way across off, trying to make the ball straighter to try and work it on that side. But Karabo Miso looks like she's standing on middle stump, so maybe she's happy waiting for that ball to come to her. There you go, that's a lovely shot. And that is straight and just tapped past the mid-on fielder, and there's a dive out there, but it goes for 4 runs. That is a beautiful shot for 4.
Yes, that was just old timing there from Karabo. She waited for that. Sometimes the best players, you can see them by the amount of time they have, and this shot looked like she had all the time in the world. Just a lovely punch down to the long on boundary for 4.
That's very beautiful to watch. Very beautiful to watch. Timing great, bat presentation beautiful, head position beautiful. What a shot. Michaela Andrews coming in again. This time it's wide, and Karabo Miso tries to cut that but misses out on it. Straight into the gloves of Nadine Mudli.
Good response to end that over from Michaela Andrews. She's gone for 9 in that over. It is 78 for 3 after 11.
And there you can see the scorecard so far. The highest run scorer so far, Kirsty Thompson, 19 of 15. Madison Lansman, 19 of 19. Then Nonkululeko Tabete, 15 off of 23. And Karabo Miso, who is currently in 4 runs off of 4 balls. And Sunetful Yunlo departing early on in the innings for just that 1 run off of 5 balls.
And you still have the likes of Jenna Evans, Faye Cowling, who can score very big. And Faye yesterday showed us what she could do.
Definitely. 4 sixes in her innings. And Madison Lansman has walked past that one and is stumped.
And it's 3rd time lucky for Nadine Mudli. She finally gets that stumping chance, but this time not off of Johanna Nel, but off of Giselle Abrahams. And Madison Lansman has to walk back after trudging down the wicket. And all Nadine Mudli said was continue walking.
Definitely. And Madison, let's see that replay again from Giselle Abrams. Beautifully flighted, a good length. Madison Lansman just not really getting in line with the ball and seeming like she had to reach a bit and missing out on that shot with the new batter at the crease, Jenna Evans.
The interesting thing is with the leg spinner, you have to try to get to the pitch of the ball. The moment you do not, you give the opposition a chance. And in as much as Nadine Mudli hasn't had the best of times under the stumps, you can't give her too many chances. And the DP World Lions women have given her too many, and she took one finally.
Definitely. And Jenna Evans at the crease, as you said earlier, that the Lions have a very deep batting lineup with still 8.5 overs to go. Jenna Evans, I think, and Karabo Miso will have to carry on and form some sort of a partnership, as the Lions, I'm sure, do not want to go into the tail end. Jenna Evans proving to be Giselle Abrams, and again it's a bit wider and driven past the extra cover fielder. And Jenna Evans is off the mark after the first ball, 1 of 1.
What I love about Giselle is that she's not afraid to give it a little bit of flight, just to push it up there. And that first ball to Jenna Evans was one of those that would make Jenna Evans' eyes light up. Let's see if she'll do it again.
Definitely. I think any batter really loves a bit of flight. This one's a bit flatter this time, and it's cut or punched past the extra cover fielder. And that looked like there was trying to be a bit of a footwork there, and a bit of a misfield coming off and going for 4 runs. So another 4 runs to the DP World Lions total and Karabo Miso's total as we see that replay. It's not too wide and not too short, but it's cut away.
Karabo Miso giving us a repertoire of her shots, and really, really good to see that back foot punch. Great fall.
Very good shot. Gave herself room there. This one's a bit straighter and it's being driven, and Yana now dives to that, and that is a dot ball to Giselle Abrams's.
Always in the thick of things.
Giselle Abrams again a bit straighter, and that's driven straight to the bowler for no run.
It's been a great over from Abrams. She's been playing with flight, she's been playing with speed.
It's really good to see, and fearless cricket. That one's a bit wider, and Karabo Miso just swats it through that gap in the inner ring, and Mate has a bit of a fumble, giving the DP World Lions batters an opportunity to run to.
You can see that with these two, there's a bit of an impetus to start moving and start getting the scoreboard ticking. End of that over is 7 runs as Karabo Miso and Jenna Evans look to get the Lions to a total that is a winnable one.
Definitely, and after the end of the 12th over, the DP World Lions are 85 for 4. These two will probably look to start scoring a bit more, but they are also known to be a bit more aggressive players. They aren't really the wait around and see, especially Jenna Evans having scored 23 off of 19 against the Knights in the Pro Series in Bloemfontein.
The last Pro20 game that the Lions played in Bloem was a really intriguing one as they beat the Knights there, but you've got some runs from Tebete as well as Jenna Evans, so we're hoping for that as well today.
And that is Faith de Jonk in again, and her first ball in her 3rd over is called a wide.
The extras are piling up here for the Garden Route badges. One of the things that you will be required, especially if you're an underdog, is to be buttoned up and tight, and they just haven't been letting the Lions go loose.
Faith de Jonk in again, that one's a bit of a back of a length, and Jenna Evans just punches that to the long off fielder, Asake Inyobane. The extras can sometimes really cost you, it almost adds a bit of an extra batter, and so far we have 21 extras.
And you would say the badges have bowled relatively well, just letting themselves go just at odd moments.
That one's a bit of a back of a length, and it's punched through the covers and reaches the cover. And there's a bit of a mix-up, and Jenna Evans departs. What great fielding out in the deep. That is a very unnecessary wicket to lose, I'd say.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Karabo and Jenna, what were you guys doing? Karabo said, don't come. Jenna was like, yes, yes, yes. Let's test the arm. And Karabo said, no. And we just had that mix-up.
Here we go, we'll get the replay.
If you look at it, great throw from the infield. But fundamentally, the drama was happening in the middle of the pitch. And you can see it was a no, yes, no situation. And unfortunately, Jenna Evans has to perish for that.
It's always indecisiveness that really, I suppose, sort of kills partnerships in cricket, especially with running in between the wickets. If you often hear people say, if you're not sure, rather not, especially in situations like this where the Lions have already lost 4 wickets within the first 12 overs.
The question is, did Jenna Evans turn blind? And the answer most likely is yes. And Karabo Miso wasn't willing to take that risk there. Really, really wasn't willing to take that risk.
Faye Cowling, the big run scorer from yesterday and the big wicket taker from yesterday, now in with Faith de Jonk bowling to her. That one's, and she departs on the first ball. Oh no, what's happened here, Lions? Faye Cowling departs for no run. And Faith de Jong picking up 2 wickets so far on this over.
The Garden Route Badgers are on a team hat-trick right now. If you look at this one, it's the pace that undid her. Eventually just kept on going low, and it was just too full. You would have expected, I think Faye was expecting the ball to come off the pitch a little bit, and she got a full toss to go and she missed it.
Yeah, it was a bit of like a floaty Yorker, I'd say.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a random one, but it looked like Faye was trying to play across the line instead of keeping to the line of the ball, which we saw yesterday. She came off very successful playing across the line, but unfortunately this just wasn't the ball to be playing across the line.
And cricket is a weird game. Yesterday, you were a superstar. Today, we go back to ordinary settings. But unfortunately, it is a game of failure, and failure is part of the game. And it was one of the things I was thinking about coming into there. Was failure going to continue? But Faith de Jong had another answer to that.
None of the batters really from yesterday continued, obviously with Sunette Viljoen, who also scored a lot of runs, going out for 1 run, and now Faye Cowling departing for 0 runs. And
But a team hat-trick, possibly.
team hat-trick,
On the
and
go. Run out, bowled.
I'm sure the Badgers will be happy with anything, but I'm sure the experience of Shibnam Ismail will keep it out in hopes of the Lions keeping it. Faith de Jong around the wicket to Shibi, who's a left-handed batter. And that is Shabnam Ismail off the mark for 1 run off of just 1 ball.
The great thing about Faith de Jong is that she bowls wicket to wicket, and it's one of the things where the batters, we always need to just always be cognizant of that, and the fact that if you do miss that ball, most likely you'll find yourself in trouble.
Definitely. She's sort of the bowler you miss, I'll hit. There you go, in again, and it's like a full toss, floaty Yorker type of thing. That's full and being driven to the cover sweeper. And that is a bit of a fumble, and they're going to turn for 2. Is Karabo Miso going to get there? There's a big dive, and they shout. Umpire Amy Gia says not out.
Great glove work there by Nadine Moodley this time to give her team a chance at that run out. It's going to be a lot of that for the rest of this morning. Streaky 2s, looking to try and get yourself going, as the Lions haven't been able to be their free selves. Even though they are currently going at 7.3 and over, they've missed out on a lot of boundary opportunities as the Badgers have tried to make it hard for them.
Definitely. And again, that one swings away, and that's also been driven to the cover sweeper. And that is just the 1 run. Interestingly enough, as you said, the Lions really haven't been able to sort of get going. The highest strike rate so far is Kirsty Thompson, 126.67. And then obviously the highest run scorer so far today is Extras. So really the Badgers could have had the Lions in a very different situation if the discipline in the bowling was a bit better. And as you can see on your screen now, there is a fan park for the ICC T20 World Cup Women's Final this evening at the DP World Wanderers. If you're free and you want to support our ladies, come on down and support them at the DP World Wanderers at a fan park. At the end of the 13th over, there's 92 for 3. And that ball has been swept to the deep square leg sweep fielder for just the 2 runs.
Great fielding there from Asaka Nyovane. Had to cover a lot of ground to get there. And yes, please do come and join us later on today. After the game, we're going to be focusing on that World Cup final.
Abrams, and again, it's a bit straight down. Karabo Miso swings hard, and it's up in there. Janine Janssen van Rensburg puts it down.
Another chance gone down again, this time by the captain. Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg just can't believe her luck. This is the second ball that she hasn't been able to put hands on, and this one's a lot easier than the first one. Karabo Miso would have wanted to take that shot back, but luckily Nicoline van Rensburg has given her a lifeline.
I must say the Badgers really haven't, they've sort of carried on their fielding streaks from yesterday, where it hasn't been, on the ground they've been a bit better than yesterday, but in the air it's sort of carried on with the drop catches, and then the bowling has obviously also fallen a bit wayward, with Extras being the highest run scorer. Abrams now coming around the wicket to the left-handed Shabnam Ismail, and that's a full toss, and that's been absolutely swatted to the square leg fielder out on the boundary.
And umpire Saleh says it is still below waist height, so it won't be called a wide.
Abrams back to over the wicket to the right-handed Karabo Miso. That one's a bit fuller, and Karabo goes onto her back foot and punches it to the cover sweeper Mate for just the 1 run.
I think the focus here for the Badgers is to try and restrict boundaries. You'll take the 1s and 2s now in this period of the game. You just don't want to let go of the boundaries.
Abrams round the wicket again to Shabnam Ishmael, who defends it for no run. Definitely will wanting to be restricting boundaries, especially with the rate achieved going down a bit, and the Lions will want to be increasing boundaries. Again, Shabnam flashes hands at it, and it is a good stop there by the extra cover fielder for no run. And that is the end of the over, and we will be having a change in commentary.
Yes, we've got 5 runs off of that over. The Badgers will be really happy with the bowling of Giselle Abrams. They are currently 97 for 6 as wickets have fallen for the Lions as we are joined by Dave Midgley here. You can see that scorecard as Jenna Evans, Faye Cowling and Madison Landsman all went away while the time Dave was taking a break. But then now you still have Sarah Nextelton, Rafila Moncho, and Relebogile Mkize, which is more of a tail than more of a tail left for the Wanderers, for the Lions. Sorry, my words are coming through thick and fast, and my English quota seemingly is not there. But anyway, Faith de Jong. Easy one down the leg side.
Yeah, the Badgers making amends for their missed opportunities. Yes, there have been a couple of drop catches and some missed stumpings, but it's been a game that they'll be much more pleased with than their performance yesterday. Not able to take wickets and doing that today.
A little bit of a mix-up in the middle for that ball that went to cover, but good fielding from the Badgers in the ring.
The calling has been a problem for the DP World Lions in this game.
You
They
could
seem confident with what they want.
Faith de Jong has really impressed me today. She's tight on those stumps, wicket to wicket bowler, just causing the Lions all sorts of problems. They want to play across the line, but they just can't, because Faith de Jong has just put them under so much pressure. Great fielding again at a cover this time, but by Vuyoletu Bonya.
Yeah, De Jong's been consistent in that off stump or just outside line and length, and she's making sure that there's no width for these Lions batters to just throw their hands at. There is protection out there in the deep, but she doesn't want to give anything away.
Again, same line, like a metronome. Just keep on bowling it consistently down there, and we could be staring. We are staring at potentially our first maiden of the day. Oh, what an over from Faith de Jong. What a spell. 2 for 19 for the Garden Route Badgers bowler. She has really stepped up today and has provided her team with a lifeline with those 2 wickets for 19 runs.
Brilliant performance with the ball in hand from Faith de Jong. She'll be proud of herself. She's done the job for the skipper. Those 2 wickets, vital to make inroads into this Lions batting lineup. Somebody who's also been vital for the Badgers, making a return, this time from the call-it-drive end. Those 10 runs being conceded. It's Nell who will have a chance to bowl. She was really putting Landsman under pressure earlier, just coming out of that round-the-wicket angle. It's tough to watch.
And we forget her chances the stumping chances that were dropped by Nadine Moodley behind there. So Yana now looking to continue. Badgers going to their best bowlers of the day right now. 2 overs. We expect her 2 overs to be bowled as well. Around the wicket, still they're looking to take a cheeky single because of that fumble. And they have.
It's good awareness there from the 2 batters, making sure that they're squeezing everything that they possibly can with the change in the field. Or we said about 140 would be something that they will be confident with. Is that still a possibility for the Lions?
It is. They need a boundary and over, and essentially to try and get them there. 10 runs and over will get you to 140. And when you normally calculate this time in the innings, if you get a boundary, and a couple of singles, you get close to 10 and over. Swept across the line by Karabo Miso. It's a shot she's quite enjoys, and this time she's done well. Shabnam comes down the wicket, but can't beat that fielder at mid-off. That's Michaela Andrews, who this time gets a chance to save a run. Oh, that's a swipe across the line, a bit of an inside edge there. And they'll come through for a single.
Shot in frustration is a clear indication that Lions feel like they're being bogged down a little bit. Only 3 runs in the last 10 balls as they bring up the 100.
Cut straight to the field of the Lions. The DP World Lions women are just being held here. No boundaries, just dots and ones, and that is what the Garden Route Badgers are looking for. And there's an LBW call, and Amy Gear puts up a finger, and Karabo Miso's stand here in this game ends with an LBW. Yana now with a phenomenal over again, 3 runs and a wicket, and the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers are definitely in this game.
You just look trapped on the crease there, Karabo Miso. Having a look at this one again. Yana Nell's had the money. Everything has been on the money for straightened a little bit, and Amy Gear all too happy to raise the finger.
I think you'd have a question, maybe a debate with Amy Gear as to whether it was going down leg side, but it's all for the money. If you want to play back, these are the consequences of playing back if you miss the ball. And Yana Nell's been very accurate today. 3 overs, 13 runs, and 1 wicket.
Just having a look at those clouds there. There's just a small threat of rain, a couple of millimeters in prospect, but it is scattered thunder showers according to our weather report. So we're hoping that we're not going to be impacted by the weather.
Yes, Kayakazi Mate coming in to bowl her 2nd over from the golf course end. She was quite straight in the power play, but she went for 14 runs. A little bit of a lot of extras that were coming through there. There was one ball that went down the leg side for 4. Coming back to see if she can't also keep up that pressure. And this one's up in the air. It will bounce and over the boundary for 4. Great shot from Shubnam Ismail, who played it on the up.
Yeah, she was definitely looking to release the pressure. As we said, there's been a consecutive strain of frustration, and she headed as straight as a die, just up and over the inner ring, 1 bounce over the rope for 4.
Shubnam Ismail reminding everybody that she also is a candy batter, not only one of the best bowlers in the world, but she can wield a sword. That one outside off, great ball from Kayakazi Mate.
Yeah, Ismail looking like she'd already made her mind up there, just standing and wanting to swipe it away.
not quite getting to the line of the ball, and as you said, Mate on the money.
That's the line she needs to bowl.
Ismail just eyeing up that leg side boundary. Maybe she's going to attack it now.
And this one is a top edge, Faith de Jonk underneath it, and it's a drop. Another drop by the 6-gun girl, Garden Route Badgers women. This fielding effort in the air has been very disappointing for them. They could have had the lines in all sorts of trouble, but they just keep on letting them go.
Just looked like it stuck in the surface there. Plugged a little bit. De Jong, difficult catch on the run. As you said, she would have preferred to have made sure that she got another wicket or participated in another wicket here.
New batter Sarah Nettleton with a quick run to get herself to the other side. Great bowling from Mate, not giving her any room. But we're in the realm of French cricket. Touches the bat and you can get to the other side.
2 balls remaining in this over, and at this stage of the game, you would feel that the Badgers are the ones on top. They really have put lines under pressure.
Another mistimed shot down in the deep, but it will evade the fielder as Michaela Andrews comes around, and the Lions women take 2 wickets off of the bat of Shubnam Ismail. The run rate has slowed down. It's now 6.5, Dave. And it's all to the work of the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers. They're not taking their chances, but their bowlers are not giving the Lions anything in relation to boundaries. That's a beautiful shot. That's amazing. Oh, wow, Shubnam Ismail. Take my money.
Well, you did mention that they are not giving anything away in terms of boundaries, and then that one too wide, and Ismail pounced on it, glides away to the backward point boundary. It's the end of 17, just one past Nelson. It's 1-1-2 for 7.
Yes, 2 boundaries in that over can try and is giving a jolt to the DP World Lions women innings here, as they have truly struggled over the last 4 or 5 overs, but that over was like a release valve, Dave.
Some fans enjoying the action here at the iconic DP World Wanderers. Some women's cricket to begin in domestic levels, and then the national team a little bit later this afternoon will be looking to hoist the trophy as they are in the ICC Women's World T20 final against New Zealand.
Iana now to bowl her final over. Sarah Nettleton. Oof, she pushed that one quickly. Sarah not being able to get back on that. And yes, do join us for the grand final, as our New Zealanders would say. And there it is, another wicket to Iana now. Played with flight, played with pace, and Sarah Nettleton played with everything but the ball, and the stumps have been disturbed. It's another wicket to the Garden Route Badgers, and another one to Iana now. It's 1-1-2 for 8.
She just played completely across the line there. Relatively straight delivery. Something that you would expect she would feel confident enough to just knock it down the ground for one. Maybe trying to force things along, get it moving.
Lots of premeditated shots.
Yeah, the results in the wicket. So that's the 8th wicket down now, and it brings Monto to the wicket.
Refile Muncho. We are well and truly in the tail. And she'll be taking her instruction from her senior partner, senior in caps and also senior on this batting lineup, Shubnam Ismail, who's on 15 or 12. Edged, and that is very fortuitous for the DP World Lions women. Refula Muncho is looking to play it through the offside, and it's a very healthy edge that goes to the boundary.
Much needed. It doesn't matter how they come through everything but the kitchen sink at that one. And when you do hit the ball with the outside edge that hard, it just screams away.
It's down the leg side. We called a wide. Yana now looking to straighten that line and not give Muncho any room to swing a bat. And she swings that one straight to cover point, and there was a chance at a run out. But umpire Saleh says no. Muncho managed to make it back in time.
There was clearly a discussion there from Ismail and Muncho to just say that I want you to get me on strike, just take the one. She was very eager to get to the other end, and maybe just a bit of advice now saying rather make certain of the opportunity for a single, don't force it.
2 balls to go, and it's over. Swing and a miss, and Yana now may have, her ball may have missed the stumps entirely.
Woodley didn't
They
seem all
are
that
broken.
convinced. Yeah, it looked like to Nell that she'd been out bowled, but I think umpire Saleh is saying that she's touched the stumps without the ball in her hand, and that's why there's a bit of a conference in the middle.
The umpire Gear is saying that it's not out, and that Nadine, the ball hit Nadine Moodley first, and then hit the stumps.
So it's come off the pads by that indication. Let's have a look at this one again from the angle. See what's the outcome there.
Yes, so from our vantage point that you're looking at, it does look like the ball did go outside the off stump and then ricochet back off the pads. It's also an indication that the Badgers did not necessarily confer a fight about it. But end of that over, 6 runs coming off of that over of Yana. Now she ends her 4 over spell, 2 for 18. And the DP World Lions women are 117 for 8 after 18. And if you look at the bowling, Dave, the 2 wickets from Faith de Jong, Yana Nel, and Giselle Abrams. But the Pacers aren't getting much joy here.
Yeah, they've all very cheaply, those wicket takers, and I suppose that's why the wicket column is reflecting the way that it does, because of the way that they've bowled so cheaply. But as you have mentioned earlier in broadcast, the extras, 15 wides, really expensive stuff, and maybe boosting the Lions score a little bit more.
There's a trio of 19s, but extras is 22. Another batter. Michaela Andrews from the golf course end. And that was one gonna go to Asake Nyovane, and she drops it. Oh no, not again, but there's another run out chance there at the non-striker's end. Also missed. Comedy of errors. Full toss, drop catch, and a missed run out. And as Asake Nyovane holds her hands in her head, she knows that she's let her team down there.
Well,
massively.
When it rains, it pours, because that is definitely not what they wanted. Lovely, lovely shot. Just the toe end, though, didn't time it. And a reprieve as she juggles what should have been a regulation catch.
Another one outside the off stump, and again Shibnam Ishmael struggling to play that. She played a lovely late cut in the previous over from this end. But again, the premeditation of wanting to get it out. Whereas if you just find the gap between the fielder there at probably 45 and the other fielder at point, that's just runs.
It's like a bit of the bat has come adrift there, or maybe the toe guard. So just handing it to the square leg umpire.
And extras will increase by 1 again to 23 with another wide.
Just off the money there. Maybe trying to bowl those wide Yorkers late in the innings here. She's decided she'll come around now. And Andrews, 3 overs, 1 for 15.
Interesting ploy here, bowling to probably Shibnam Ishmael's strength. And it's a well hit for 1 to the captain. The Badgers' ground fielding has been exceptional. It's just if you just put anything in the air, they just can't be able to, aren't able to catch it.
The line certainly providing opportunities for the Badgers to work on their catches. You just got to make sure you rectify that and take your catches.
And that's up in the air and over Faith de Jong, but there is a sweeper in the deep. They're looking for a second. Well, that's Muncho, but she's been sent back by Shibnam Ishmael. Kaya Kazimate in the deep. 122 for 8.
Faith de Jong wishing she had a couple of more inches. Just floating over the top of
And it's also a positioning. She's just a couple of paces in the ring. And had she been standing on the ring, she probably would have caught that. Slower ball and played out to the leg side. Another single to the DP World Lions, 123 for 8. 7 balls remaining in this innings. The Garden Route Badgers would be happy with their bowling effort, but the fielding effort is something that they would be disappointed in. Drop catches, lots of extras. Michaela Andrews aborts her run.
doing a bit of a U-turn around umpire Zubair Saleh. Maybe just not having the rhythm that she would have liked. Last ball of the 19th.
Oh, she got middle stump out. Oh, what a ball from Michaela Andrews. And Refula Muncho couldn't do anything about that. And now she has to walk back for 5 of 7.
What a lovely way to end that over and her spell. Excellently executed Yorker. And the center stump showing off its gymnastic skills. It's the end of 19 and the end of Muncho. It's 123 for 9.
And another bowler from the Garden Route Badgers has figures of 2 for 18 or 19. Michaela Andrews wants to add to that tally as she gets 2 for 18 of her 4 overs. With De Jong, Abrahams, Nell and Andrews having bowled 4. The final over will be given to
Right, so the signal from umpire Amy Gear is the last over will be a power play. And if you're wondering, wait, where does that come from? The amount of time that teams take to bowl their 20 overs is impacted there.
It's an overrate penalty, an on-field overrate penalty. I think is the best way to do it, Dave. So now the Badgers are not allowed to have 4 fielders outside the ring. They can only have 3. Kakazimate. And this one is straight to the fielder at long on and over her head for 6. What a shot from Shubnam Ishmael. It was in the slot. And she's been saying, yes, my top order hasn't scored runs today, but I will take us home with a lovely 6 to start that final over.
Well, Kaya Kazimate has had a tough day, and that tough day continues. Overpitched. Ismail comes down the wicket, hits it, and nearly into the hands of De Jong. Another half chance goes a begging. What is the response from Mate?
edged, and it's gonna go down to the boundary for 4. An unfortunate series of events for the Badgers that cost them 10 runs in 2 overs. One was a drop chance on the boundary, and another one is an edge that goes to the third man boundary for 4.
Swatted at this one over the keeper's head. And as you said, 10 runs in 2 balls means that 140 that Sarah Barber spoke about is certainly in sight.
And another hoik, and it's going to split the fielders. It does! Great shot there from Shubnam Ismail for another boundary in this over. It's 6-4-4. It's not a Robben Island prison number, but we're getting to somewhere here.
Yeah, Shubnam Ismail putting through exactly what she's in this team for. Experience, excellence. What a placement to just dissect those 2 fielders.
Oh, no, that went straight and hard for 4 runs.
Brilliant stroke there. She knew exactly where she wanted to hit it. Dead straight down the ground. It was safe all the way. What an over this is turning out to be for the DP World Lions.
Shubnam Ismail dealing in boundaries. It's what the DP World Lions have been looking for, and all that hard work for the Badgers undone. In a couple of overs, straight to the fielder, and finally they make a catch as Shubnam Ismail falls, but the damage has already been done. The Lions 141 for 9, and Shubnam Ismail goes for 37. Oh, it's the Lions are 141 all out as Shubnam Ismail falls for 37. That last over, Dave, bringing the Lions back and getting them over that psychological target.
24 runs in the over. It was just one too many shots. And Nicolene Janssen van Rensburg able to pouch that one. After a good start with ball in hand, just going a little bit astray there towards the back end for the Badgers. They'll have the opportunity to see if they can summit that mountain.
Look at this catch. Finally, Nicolene Janssen van Rensburg gets to give herself a base and take that out. Shubnam Ismail had one word on her mind, was boundaries. And that's the end of the Lions innings. Netful Yunlo was the first to go for 1, but contributions from Kirsty Thompson, Madison Landsman with Karabo Missoff off of 19. But we must never forget the heroics from Shubnam Ismail there at the bottom for 37 of 21. But the star of the day for the Deep World Lions, and someone to be thankful for, is the extras, as the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers gave them freebies, free runs, 23 free runs. If you took 23 off this target, the Badgers would have bitten your hand off. But unfortunately, it's 141 all out, and the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers need 142 to win.
Yeah, just having a look at those bowling figures. They decided they'd win the toss and bowl. Michaela Andrews, 4 overs, 2 for 18. She was economical and she was effective striking. Mate, just that 1 wicket at the end. She was very expensive, 15.5 to the over. De Jong, 2 drop catches, but she made the most effort to really contribute with ball in hand. 2 for 19, very cheap for her as well. And wickets for Jana Nel and Abrams as they kept things quiet. So at the halfway stage, DP World Lions, having been put into bat first, are 141 all out. And when we come back from the break, it will be the Badgers who will have bat in hand. Back to the iconic DP World Wanderers. It is Hollywoodbets Pro20 action. The DP World Lions taking on 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers. The Badgers winning the toss, deciding they will have a ball. And the Lions posting 141 all out, dismissed on the penultimate ball of their innings. Top scorer for the Lions was Shabnam Ismail. She's going to open the bowling from the golf course end. Hi everybody, my name is David Midgley. Alongside me, Paul Mutwane. Paul, welcome back. What do you make of that Lions batting performance?
I think they'd be disappointed with their batting performance, and I think up until the 19th over, they would have not been happy. But fundamentally, in that last over, Shabnam Ismail's blitzkrieg, helping them get to a par score of 141, and the paper's over the cracks, Dave. But let's see what they can do with the ball, and if they can put this 6-gun Girl Garden Route Badgers team under pressure.
Yeah, both sides looking for a victory in this year's T20 competition. And this game promises to produce something of magic for these two sides to turn their form around. Ismail goes. She goes wide first up there. Right, Mudley opening the batting with Nell, and Nell getting this side off to a great start in that game against the Dolphins, but gone early, and it was almost a capitulation thereafter. They struggled to score freely, and wickets in clusters really can hamper your batting effort.
Yes, and Yana Nall and Nadine Moodley, the two most experienced players in the side. We're hoping to give them a good start.
Much better delivery there from Shabnam Ismail. Woodley really looked uncomfortable with that one.
That one was on the toe. It's quite a sore shot to play off the bat onto the toe, but luckily for her, it didn't go anywhere else.
These two sides last season, the Lions ending up second, 7 out of their 10 wins, and the Badgers right behind them with 5 out of 10. Just shows that the margin between these two sides is a very small one, especially in this Hollywoodbets Pro20 series. Great line and length, but good use of the blade there. Beating the inner ring, and that's raced away to the boundary for 4.
Yes, one of the things with Shabnam Ismail is that pace can help batters be able to put the ball guide the ball to the boundary, and Nadine Moodley doing just that, just waiting for it and cutting it away to that point boundary.
Yeah, often in your coaching circles you speak about the quicker the ball comes onto you, the quicker it can race away. So Shabnam Ismail, the victim of her own skill in that instance.
We've got a triumvirate of point fielders ready and waiting.
Struck in front, there's a big shout, but maybe a half shout. Shabnam Ismail maybe not confident with that one. It's leg buys, and they get through for 1.
The ball was really quick, surprising Nadine Moodley as she couldn't get through her shot in time. But luckily for her, it's not an LBW, but another run to the cause of the Badgers.
Full and straight, there's a huge shout, but again, they may be suspecting there's a bit of a tickle on that.
Yes, Shabnam is picking up the pace here. More going down leg there than actually it tickling the bat, but there was 2 sounds that we heard there.
Ismail just having a discussion about her field there. She's got 3rd man and fine leg in place. Everybody else is in the ring, and as you said, there's a concentration at point, a forward point, a point, and a backward point, so clearly targeting that area. Nearly Nearly. She's on a roll here, is Shabnam Ismail. After the wayward first delivery, she's come back nicely. 1 ball remaining in the first. 136 runs required to win from 115 deliveries. So a very gettable score for this Badgers side. Partnerships will be the key foundation for this run chase. That'll take a tickle off the pads. It'll go fine, and it'll go to the boundary for 4. More leg buys, and at the end of the first, it's 10 for nothing.
Shubnam hasn't gotten her radar in just yet, and that rhythm, just a little bit of a mixed bag of balls in terms of length, offside, leg side, and then last one just going down the leg side. And yeah, 4 easy runs there for the Garden Route Badgers. 10 runs off the first over.
Right, now from the call-it drive end, Faye Cowling, she played such an important role in the one-day game, and the previous fixture for these two sides, well, rather for the Lions, did well for the Lions in Bloemfontein. Got a first baller when she came out to bat, so she wanted to clear her mind of that earlier error. Played across a straight one and was dismissed. So the Lions employing a slip.
Faye taking 4 wickets yesterday. She'll be hoping to resume where she left off. Likes to nip it into the right-hander. So she needs to start it probably outside off stump. So.
It's an outside edge going to where Gully would have been. Just trickles away to third man for 1. That's exactly why they've got that slip in place. They know that if she gets it right, you're certainly in business with that wide slip just to the bottom right of your screen. You can see the wicketkeeper there.
It'll be interesting to see with Yana now. She doesn't move her feet much. And if the ball starts nipping off the surface, she might find herself in trouble.
That one's popped up in the air. It'll fall safely though. Maybe looking like it rushed Yana now a little bit. And as you said, didn't have a lot of footwork. Relying on her hands. Very good player of using the pace of the bowlers, but not controlled enough to get it away.
Sarah Nettleton had to get around a long way to get to that ball. Sitting there at mid-wicket. And that ball she had to pick up at square leg. She couldn't.
This one's worked away off the pads down to fine leg. Signal from umpire Emmy Gears, that'll be leg buys.
Leg buys are piling up. Faye Cowling just tending to come into the right hand a little bit too much and starting that ball on middle stump.
The line's struggling a little bit with their lengths here. And that's much better. When she does get it right, it just looks so good over the top of off stump. Now trying to give herself some room to cut that one away. With such a heavily packed offside field, she's got to be on the money with her placements. Absolutely cleaned her up. Full and straight. UMSI hit. And the first wicket falls for the Badgers. It's 13 for 1. Unlucky for the Badgers. What a delivery.
Picking up where she left off. She caused a lot of problems for the Badgers yesterday with that in-swing. And this one was just beautiful. In-swinging Yorker. Nothing that Yana now could do. It was too quick for her. And Faye Cowling gets the first wicket for the DP Lions women.
Well, we said she had to be on the money. You have to be precise with your lengths and exactly where the doctor would have ordered. So
Not
that
Dr.
wicket.
Christy Thompson?
No,
Okay.
not that doctor. The coaching doctor, Sean Pretorius, and his assistant, Sandila Masingemi. So unlucky number 13, striking for the 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers. That brings Nyovane to the wicket.
Yes, Asaka Nyovane in her only appearance in the Pro20 against the Dolphins. Only scoring 6 for 13. She was out bowled in similar fashion to Yana Nal, actually. So Faye Cowling could have something here, and the Lions women will have spoken about this and provided some plans to her.
So no change in the field. Third man and fine leg still in place. Just with her height, she gets that bounce, does Cowling. I wonder if she'll follow up the very foolish delivery with one that might trouble Sake Nyovane. Yeah, back of a length delivery, really bend her back here. Good start and does the work to prevent the run being scored. It's the end of 2. It's 13 for 1.
It's great opening over from Faye Cowling. 3 runs coming off of that over, and most importantly, the wicket of Yana now, which you can watch as multiple times as you want. It's a postage stamp wicket. It's one that you will remember for a very long time, because that's when everything went right. Pace, line, length, and then the cartwheeling of the middle stump.
Shapnam Ismail continuing from the golf course end. A little bit expensive in her first. It was those extras that really elevated the score. The wides in it as well.
So for 7 extras.
She goes now to Woodley. There's a half yelp there from the Lions players, knowing that there was no hope of persuading umpire Zubair Saleh.
Good to see that Shubnim is cranking up the speed here. Really tough for Mudley to try access that leg side with that last ball. Just came too quickly for her. Takes a while to adjust to the pace, especially with one of the fastest bowlers in the world.
In the air, just wide of Thompson, and it cruises away to the boundary for 4. Lovely stroke.
It's really easy to adjust the pace when you're getting half volleys, and Shubnim Ismail starting straight, now going outside off, and it was just an easy half volley. She cut that offside like she was cutting a cake, straight and through.
Wide and a wicket-keeping error on top of it. It means they get through for a single in addition to the wide.
Discipline today with the ball across both teams hasn't been there, and it's probably going to be one on top of the coaches list this week in terms of fixing the extras and decreasing the extras. Because in the 6-gun Grill Badgers' bowling effort, their 4 main bowlers, who took 2 wickets each, only went for under 80 runs. So where did the other 60 runs come from?
23 of those from the extras column.
Exactly. It's, and the DP World Lions women starting again, 9 extras, and we've only bowled 14 balls.
Comes round the wicket and she's cleaned her up. What an introduction. Just changing the angle there. and no answers to be found. Asaka Nyovane is gone for a duck, and the Lions are on fire. It's 19 for 2.
Too fast, too smooth. Shubnam Ishmael, aging like a fine wine and reminding us of her greatness. Off stump out, around the wicket. One of the hardest lines to bowl, and she's managed to pull out the off stump.
Well, it's going to be important for the DP World Lions to make early inroads to this Badgers side if they wanted to restrict their opposition, and partnerships was the key word for the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers. We haven't seen it yet, and that brings the skipper to the wicket for the Badgers side, Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg. She's got all the time in the world here for 123 from 105 deliveries. There's more than enough time for them to forge a partnership here and then go on and accelerate.
Yes, there's more than enough time, but you're coming up against a bowling lineup that's not giving you anything. They're not even allowing you to assert yourself on them. One would say take it deep, but this has now become more of a survival contest for the Badgers. They can't handle the pace from either end, and that's just been evident with the 2 wickets that have fallen.
Well, Ismail will be looking for more. Very keen to get off the mark is Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg.
Very interesting line here from Shibi as we look at the wicket. It's very hard for you to come around the wicket and try force the ball across the right-hander. And managing to get that off stump just shows all the experience that she has in the world.
That's the bumper, and Van Rensburg did well to get out of the way there. Umpire signalling 1 for the over.
Dave, it's survival cricket right now, and the Lions are showing everything. Shibi is pulling out all the stops here. That was a surprise ball, and Nicoline did well to get away from that, but Shubnam Ishmael is fit and firing, and she wants more wickets.
Change in the field, 3rd man in the ring. And Janssen van Rensburg will get off the mark here. As we mentioned, that fielder just coming into the ring, and he felt like she was presented with the ball earlier than she wanted. It's the end of 3, and it's 20 for 2.
With a fumble in the field. The Badgers still going along at 6.7. The only problem that they have is that wicket column. They just need to keep themselves going. Wickets are a currency in this game, especially in the Hollywoodbets Pro20. Give yourself a chance by giving yourself wickets in the back end in order for you to attack the bowling side.
Cowling will continue from the call it driviness. He said that 2 for 8 in her 3 overs in the last T20 game in Bloemfontein meant that not only was she striking but also silencing those nice batters. It was a close game in the end. It looked a lot closer when those last couple of overs did roll around. Outside edge, it's a despairing dive, wide of that slip there, and it'll go away to the boundary. Immediately a 4 to start the over.
Much needed 4 from the Badgers. It was full and wide, and anybody was going to throw their hands at that, and she gave everything. I hate cliches, but we'll just have to add the kitchen sink as well.
Landsman moving a little bit wider. She was at a 2nd or 3rd slip position now in the gully region. This was much fuller, and it still beats Landsman in that gully region. She's at risk of moving her way to backward point at this point.
Tic-tac-toe fielding. You move, I move. We all move together.
Shubnam Ismail's kept herself busy here. She's putting the effort in with ball in hand and then having to run around that
field. Landsman moves herself again.
Oh, I love captaincy.
They're just having a discussion about where the third man should be, Shibnam Ismail.
They're standing on the same line.
It's lofted over the inner ring. Just a few bounces and it'll trickle away into the boundary. And that's what you've got to do in the power play. You've got to look to go over the top. And it's a four runs rather.
Nadine Moodley showing that she's adjusted to the pace. Now opening the bat face and lifting it up over the infield for a really lovely fall. This is one of the better shots you see today.
Fine leg moving a little bit squarer. So there's quite a big vacant land. This is pulled away onto the onside. There's no protection out there in the deep, and maybe that's what they were trying to prepare for. But there's no one there, and that'll go to the boundary for four. It's the third in the over.
Yes, back-to-back fours from Nadine Moodley. This one, Faye straying down the leg side and a little bit short in length. And Nadine Moodley says, "Thank you very much. I can play those in my sleep."
Again, changes in the field. Landsman playing that game of chess. You don't want to feel like you're panic captaining where you're just moving players to where the ball was. Straighter this time, and this one's going down the leg side, so no chance there of a shot. But sometimes in pool you get captains who kind of just move pieces in the field based on what has happened rather than what the bowling plan should be.
But normally it's also based on what your bowler can do, right? With Faye trying to, where natural action is coming down the leg side, and the question obviously, do you just stick with your plan or do you try and adjust it because she's not hitting her lines and lengths? Oh, beautiful.
Controlled, and this one will go to the left hand of Landsman. She's just moved to right earlier in the over, so good bit of awareness there from Moodley to guide it down to third man. It's the end of 4, 33 for 2.
14 off that last over from Faye Cowling. It's as though, she bowled a great over in one and now it's just an average over in the second. But you can see that Nadine Moodley is doing well. You can see the DP World Lions scorecard. Shibnam Ismail, the top scorer there. And the Garden Route badges led by Nadine Moodley. 17 off of 11. She's now starting to use the pace of the fast bowlers. And the question for me, Dave, is when will we start seeing some spin?
Well, I think Madison Landsman will be happy with where her seamers have got them off to a good start. Using Ismail here for a third, I was wondering whether or not they might just change things up. But Landsman believing that she's going to pick up a third wicket here, it's going to be through the hands of Shibnam Ismail.
Third wicket opens this game up, and this is the risk that Madison Landsman is really willing to take, sacrificing an over from Shibnam at the end for a piece of glory now.
Just bunted straight back at the bowler. Maybe a small opportunity for a return catch, but it's never easy when you're steaming in and having to try and stick a hand out there.
A very good ball there from Shibnam Ismail, who's now in rhythm, and that's a good sign for any captain. The only problem is in T20 you can't bowl them forever.
Shorter delivery, it's rushed her. There's 3 fielders running in, and it's a simple catch in the end. Sunette Viljoen is under it, pouches it, makes no mistake, and that gamble for the third wicket has paid off. It's 34 for 3.
Pace, pace, and more pace. There's no substitute to that, Dave, as the Garden Route Badgers women are falling to the pace of Shibnam Ismail. This one's a lot shorter, but she didn't have time to get across it. And all she could do was scoop it up. There was a trio of fielders there, call it a triumvirate, but Sinet Viljoen Low stepping up and taking that catch. It's 3-3 for 3.
So 108 runs to win, but 7 wickets in hand.
Great start there for the Lions. The 3rd wicket will open the game up. Now they can breathe a little bit easier, and it takes the pressure off the rest of the other bowlers, knowing that your frontliners have struck gold. Really, really great. Risk taken by Madison Landsman to bowl Shubnam a 3rd over, and she's got 4 balls left at a new batter. So there's a possibility for a couple more wickets to make a few more innings.
In at number 5, Michaela Andrews. So Shabnam Ismail decides now that she wants to come over the wickets to the new batter. They're deciding that the fine leg fielder was far too square. Right. Let's see how we go here. Oh goodness me, she's bamboozled her. It was far too quick for Andrews, who kind of punched at it and trying to get it away from her toes. She didn't look comfortable.
And we're looking at the wicket again. Nadine Moodley just couldn't get fully through that shot because it was too quick on her. And great catch by Sinet Viljoen. We've seen a lot of catches being dropped by the Badgers, but the Lions women are not giving them anything.
Lovely delivery. Lovely delivery. Exactly where she would have wanted the ball to land.
If I'm Shubnam Ismail, I'm smiling after that one. There was a little bit of gap between bat and pad, as though Michaela Andrews was recognizing that there's quite a lot of fire coming down from the golf course end.
Yeah, Michaela Andrews doesn't look all that comfortable facing Shabnam Ismail, so she'll want to get away from it. That really looked uncomfortable. She'll get leg buys for it, but Ismail showing her experience by just following the batter. She knows that Andrews is not happy.
Gives her a little pat on the helmet. All's fair in love and war. No love lost between the two. It's still all friendly here in the Hollywoodbets Pro20 series.
That'll leave a mark that she'll see in the morning, wincing in pain after being hit there. Right, 1 ball remaining in this Ismail over, just the 1 from it and the wicket. Van Rensburg just guides us away onto the onside. They'll get 1 for it. She'll retain the strike, and at the end of 5, it's 36 for 3.
So the Badgers right now will just need this partnership to continue for them. They've got Julia Hall to come in, Violetu Bonya, as well as Michelle May, who scored runs yesterday. She scored 58 of 71. And so there's still a bit of batting for them. But they'll be hoping that these two will try and give the team a chance. And not necessarily open up an end for the Lions to try and make even further inroads into this game.
If you're in the Johannesburg area, head on over to the DP World Wanderers. You will be able to gain access to this game, but you will also be able to join in on the final of the ICC Women's World T20 at the fan park here at the DP World Wanderers. Camp chairs and blankets are around, and don't forget, you could see South Africa win. Janssen van Rensburg begins the new over from Mkhize by just guiding that down to 3rd man.
Yes, most definitely. We are all excited for the final, and hopefully this time around the Proteas women will be able to lift that World Cup.
Fuller this time from Mkhize, but not able to pierce the field. certainly promises to be a good game. You were mentioning you were slightly worried about New Zealand spinners being the game-changing factor in that game this evening.
Yes, I was, Dave. In that semi-final, having looked at them and having played New Zealand in the warm-up games, in which we lost, the spinners did give our batting lineup a lot of trouble, and we've got a lot of leg spinners in their ranks. Amelia Kerr is one of the top spinners in the world, but this team bats aggressively and they bat well.
Oh, she's done a castled playing across the line, and the Lions have another wicket. All three out of the 4 have been clean bowled. Kize gets a wicket. It's 37 for 4.
Relebohile Mkhize getting a ball to just hold its line as Michaela Andrews swiping across it. And off stump was the only answer with that one. And what a start to her spell and her bowling innings with a wicket. 37 for 4.
So Andrews goes without scoring. She'll be disappointed with that stroke. Deserved a bit better. Just hoiking across the line. Missing a straight one. So 4 down now inside the power play. 2 balls remaining. Off to such a good start did the Badgers in their last T20, but again it was wickets falling at regular intervals that was their undoing, rather.
And you just have to stop the wickets from falling, but just, being a little bit defensive. I know in T20 defense is a word nobody wants to use, but partnerships help build momentum. And what the Garden Route Badgers are unable to do is get momentum because they can't build partnerships.
Sensible there from Abrams. Just putting bat to ball there. As you said, defensive.
And that's something you're not going to be mad at if you're the Badgers. To look at that wicket again. Michaela Andrews played all around that. She was hoping the ball to come back into her, but it's held on.
Just feathered away down to the fine leg region. Cowling cleaning up there in the deep. And it's leg buys, as signaled by umpire Amy Gear. So that's the end of 6. Power play done. 38 for 4. What have you assessed in the power play between the two sides?
The strength of the Lions bowling. To take 4 wickets in a power play effectively hands you the win in T20 cricket. And the Lions wanted to start off well, and they did. The Badgers will be disappointed in their batting effort, but fundamentally they have been unable to answer the questions posed by the Lions pace bowlers. And right now they are behind the 8 ball, but cricket's a funny old game, Dave. Anything can happen.
Absolutely, it could change in but a moment. Time for a change in bowling. Sarah Nettleton from the golf course end, looking to toss it up here. Leg spinners always like a bit of flight. Looked like the off spinner there, maybe a variety ball.
Yes, it came out the front of the hand, it seemed. Very interesting action from Sarah.
Just going straight on with the arm, and I'm sure there was a bit of a side eye as she comes past the umpire. That was very close to that wide line. Just a reminder that the red line is an indicator, it's not a hard and fast rule. Just agonizingly wide there. It was in the air for a moment. But that fielder just off to the right of your screen for a moment. Was maybe believing that she was in play there, Landsman.
knocks this away for one. A little bit of a fumble in the deep, but nothing coming from it. 2 balls remaining in the over, and I think that's why the lines have gone to Nettleton here, to try and get through the over a little bit quicker, make sure they're not punished at the back end with the power play, and that nearly could have been something. Was there a faint tickle?
Yes, faint tickle there. Karabo Miso dropping that one. It's a hard chance, but she'd be disappointed with that.
A bit of death out of that delivery. Just died. It went through to the wicketkeeper. And at the end of 7, it's 40 for the loss of 2 wickets. There'll be a commentary change. It will be Sarah Barber to join me as Paul Mutrane makes way. Having a look at this delivery once again. Missed opportunity. Oh, and it took a small edge, and she'll be disappointed with herself. Sarah, welcome back.
Thank you. And that's Relebogile Keys in her second over, straight into the block hole, and well kept out by Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg.
Yamkize getting a wicket off the first ball of her first over. And just that one, she's started really well here. She'll want to continue to build pressure.
And that's right in the slot and being smacked to the cow corner region. 1 bounce for.
Well, I just said that she'll want to build pressure, but Janssen van Rensburg just freeing her arms there. 2 full from Kize. All too easy for Janssen van Rensburg to nearly hit that for 6. It just bounced inside the ring.
Just bounced inside the ring, and Mkize will be looking to recover from that boundary ball. That one's a bit straighter and a bit more difficult to play, and is played into the mid-wicket region for just the 1 run.
Sensible cricket from Van Rensburg. She knows that if I'm not able to get boundaries, I've just got to get to the other end. Linesfield is right on the edge of the circle, so as you play it softly, you know that if you're quick, you can squeak a run.
That one's a bit wider, and there's some bat on that, but it goes straight to the middle fielder for no run there from Abrams.
Yeah, I wonder if she was looking to play a little bit squarer. Maybe it was a lot fuller than she was expecting. Maybe give herself some time. And
I expect maybe a bit fuller, but it looked like she played it a bit in front of herself, so it ended up being some sort of flat bat drive. And it looks like there's a bit of a change in the field with mid-off going out and fine leg coming into the ring. That one's a bit straighter and comes off the outside edge of the bat, and that's a misfield. Run out opportunity, possibly missed there. You'll never know.
Rapo'o just wanted a clean take there, clean pickup, and she would have been in business. Just on the field as a substitute, Rapo'o.
Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg now on strike. Cow corner out, long on and long off. That one's a bit straighter, and Janssen van Rensburg plays across the line, and the long on fielder, Kirsty Thompson, picks up that ball, and they get the 1 run off of that last ball of the over. The 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers are currently on 47 for the loss of 4 after 8 overs.
The 4th Black Day will see Proteas women take on England on Sunday the 8th of December at 10 a.m. Get your tickets on cricket.co.za. That's cricket.co.za. And let us take a stand for equality.
And it looks like Sarah Nettleton will be coming in for her 2nd over this innings.
A bit of a conversation here with who needs to be where. It's important that the team know exactly who the right fielder is for the particular fielding position.
I'd say that all the big arms are on the boundary. Nettleton in again to Nicoline Jans van Rensburg, and that's across the line. It's up in the air, and it will just drop short of Sunette Viljoen low out at cow corner.
She came racing off the boundary there, but didn't quite have the legs to get to her.
With Giselle Abrams now on strike, it's a bit wider, and hands are thrown. No tickle, but a dot ball.
Well, she knows if she gets it past the fielder there at backward point, there's a lot of vacant land there out on the offside, so she'll back herself with that stroke.
Yeah, it's a bit straighter this time, and it's defended for the no run there. Yeah, definitely will be able to pick up possibly more than a few singles in that area. Field is running from every which way. Would have to try and collect that one if it went in that vacant area. Yes, and again it's a bit wider, and it's a sweep, and Shabnam Ishmael picks it up on the long on boundary.
Good bit of fielding there from Shabnam Ismail. She had to get a long way around. It's intelligent cricket as well. Just chip it over the bowler's head for one.
Bit straight this time, and its hands move around the pad, and it's just worked to that mid-wicket region where the skipper for today's Hollywoodbets Pro Series, Pro20, Madison Landsman. That's a bit straight, and it's been swept, and Sunette Viljoen low does not get there, and it's 4 runs. And that brings up 50 runs for the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers for the loss of 4 wickets after 9 overs. Looks like there's a bit of a discussion there between the skipper Madison Landsman and Relebogile Mkhize. Probably discussing field settings. And Relebogile Mkhize coming in for her 3rd over this innings, with Giselle Abrams on strike. It looks like we'll have Kirsty Thompson out at long on, Jenna Evans at cow corner, and Sarah Nettleton going down to 3rd man.
Continuing around the wicket, seeing how much value she's getting from that angle to the right-hander. My apologies, it's left arm over the wicket.
And that's a beautiful ball just moving across the batter there, and Karabo Miso taking that ball really well, standing up to the left arm seamer.
It's never easy as a wicketkeeper to stand up to the seamers. She's done well there.
Definitely done really well. And Keys again, and that's on that off stump line, and it moves a slight across, and it's just punched into the covers for no run there.
Lionsfield is really getting up here with their volume. They sense that just around the corner there's another wicket on offer. You're bowling to the newer batter. She hasn't really found her feet yet. 3 from 14, so they know she's feeling some pressure.
And that's a bit shorter and flat batted straight to the long off fielder Sunette Viljoen low. And now Nicoline Janse van Rensburg on strike. It's really nice to see that the Lions have been able to carry their energy from the beginning up until the 10th over, and hopefully for them they'll be able to carry it through. And that's a bit straighter, and it's castled Nicoline Janse van Rensburg, and she departs for 20 runs off of just 16 balls. Look at the absolute elation there from the Lions players. They really enjoyed that one, it seems.
Crucial wicket for the DP World Lions. Nicoline Janse van Rensburg really dominant and playing across a straight one there. It was full and straight, trying to get it onto the onside. There was some vacant land out there, but it means that the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers are 5 down now, 54 for 5, and Mkhize has her 2nd.
There's been some really great bowling here from the DP World Lions so far, with Shabnam Ishmael taking 2 of those wickets for 13 runs with an economy rate of 4.33. Relebohile Mkhize taking 2 of those wickets so far for just 19 runs off of her 2.4 overs with an economy rate so far of 3.38. Sarah Nettleton been very good with the ball, but no wickets so far for her efforts.
The 13th Pink One Day International will see Proteas men take on Pakistan here at the DP World Wanderers on Sunday the 22nd at 2 p.m. Get your tickets on cricket.co.za and pitch up in pink. Let's support people living with breast cancer.
And the new batter at the crease, Bonya, facing up to the left-handed Relebohile Mkhize, is just outside off in a bit full and driven all the way to the long-off fielder. And that's been thrown in, and just the one run off of that ball.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the over that these Lions fielders would sense that there was a wicket in the offing. That's exactly what Mkhize has produced. Glorious for her.
That one's a bit wider, and hands are thrown, but it's no run. And a great collection by Karabo Miso. The 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers are currently 55 for the loss of 5 after 10 overs. Just to run through some of the batters' scores so far, with the highest score for the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers being Nicoline Janse van Rensburg, 20 runs off of 16 balls, and the second highest scorer, Nadine Hoodley, 18 runs off of 13 balls.
2 for 10 from Mkhize's 3, Ismail 2 for 14, Cowling 1 for 16 from 2, and Nettleton 1 for 8 from her 2. It's been good from the DP World Lions. They want to continue with this domination. At the halfway stage, it's all 5s. 55 for 5.
And it looks like Sarah Nettleton will be coming in for third over, and that is full and straight and just punted towards that extra cover fielder.
A little bit of extra flight from the spinner. She's looking to toss things up here, invite the drive.
Ooh, and that's a bit of an inside edge straight onto the pads for no run. That extra bit of flight probably trying to get them to push it up to a fielder and get Sarah Nettleton that wicket. That one's a bit wider, and there's hands thrown, but no run. Misses out on that, and Karabo Miso collects that very eloquently. This one's a bit straighter, and that's been pulled onto the leg side, and Sunette Viljoen-Low collects that at the cow corner region for just the 1 run. That's great work out in the deep. The field, commonly known as a smiley in the cricket world, cow corner, long on, long off, and a cover sweeper. And again, it's a bit straighter, and that's absolutely smashed straight back to Sarah Nettleton, and as she fields that, and that's a dot ball.
Is that a half chance? Do you think it's bounced short, or is it a drop catch?
I think maybe just bounced short, so it was very low along the ground there. It's straighter again, and it's hit the pads, but Sarah Nettleton doesn't look interested in that one. So that is the end of the 11th over, and the 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers are currently 56 for the loss of 5. Sarah Nettleton going for very few runs that over and really dotting up the Garden Route Badgers.
That's required run rate just climbing now to 9.6. They're only going at 5.1, so as those batters will look up to the scoreboard, they'll know that 86 from 54 is not completely unreachable, but they've got to get some boundaries here if they have any hope of getting home to victory.
And Relebohile Mkhize coming in for her final over, and that's a bit wide, and somehow worked onto the leg side where the mid-wicket region is, and collected for no run. They definitely need to start finding ways to start ticking that scoreboard, whether it be in ones and getting the occasional boundary to relieve a bit of pressure off themselves if they're looking for the win. Relebohile Mkhize again, and that's a bit straighter and driven. Comes out the outside portion of the bat and goes straight to the cover fielder, Shabnam Ismail.
What point do you think that the Badgers will feel, we've got to go here, or is it maybe try and get yourself to the 15th over and then try and launch from there?
I'd say you probably need to start ticking with singles and twos at the moment, and once you get to the 15, that's when you can get to the boundaries. That's a bit straighter and being sort of patted down, and there may be a run-out opportunity, but the ball's not released.
Shabnam Ismail just sharing her thoughts there to say, you should have thrown. And the apology is forthcoming. Stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Sort of made a run already, went halfway down and came back. Unfortunately for the Badgers, that wouldn't count as a run though. And he's in again, and that's straighter again, and hands are thrown, and that's come out of the inside edge of the bat, and it's going to run away for 4 on the leg side boundary, and that's 4 more to the Badgers total, bringing them to 60 runs, and that is 4 more runs for Bonya.
Mistimed stroke there. She was trying to hit it a little bit straighter. Just coming off the inside half of the bat for 4.
Nkize again, it's a bit wide and it's hit straight back at her and it's put down.
So nearly could have been the 6th wicket. Came back at her very quickly. Looked like she was a little bit surprised by that one. What that means is there's still pressure on this Badger side. The Lions in the ascendancy, the run rate required now up to 10. When you're only going at 5.1, mind games start happening.
Looked a bit of an uncomfortable area to catch, probably right by that DP World sign on the kit. It's a bit straighter and driven again with the hands turning a little bit, therefore it ran down to the long on fielder. And that is the end of a very good spell for Relebogile Mkhize, taking 2 wickets for 15 runs off of just 4 overs. That's really well bowled from the left arm seamer. And Sarah Nettleton will be coming in for her last over of her spell from the golf course end at the DP World Wanderers Stadium.
61 for 5 after 12. Abrams on 4, Bonya on 7. And the par, to give you an indication, not that we're at risk of any rain any longer, is 91.
Nettleton in. It's a bit wide and hands are thrown straight down the ground. Will the fielder get there? No. Kirsty Thompson won't, and that is 4 runs added to the total for Bonya.
Well, we said they needed some boundaries. That's the best way to really feel like you're on the money here. First ball of the over, go after the bowler, because it can really just open the taps up for you.
Bonya on strike. This one's a bit straighter, and she tries to go hard, but mishits it straight to the square leg fielder, Faye Cowling, but also a bit of a fumble there, so doesn't get it straight in. And that goes for just the 1 run with Giselle Abrams now on strike. This one's a bit wide and hands are thrown for the cut, but no connection, so no run.
Just a good indication of how good Nettleton's been. She's just been on the money, delivery after delivery.
This one's a bit straighter again, and hands are thrown. The long on fielder collects that, Shabnam Ismail, and that just goes for the 1 run, bringing Bonya back onto strike.
So 6 from the over, 2 remaining.
Bit wider again and a bit full, hands thrown, but the long off fielder, Kirsty Thompson, picks that ball up, and it just goes for that 1 run. With the last ball of the over and the last ball of Sarah Nettleton's spell. Bonya tries to go across the line, and Madison Lansman just misses out on collecting that, and Sunette Viljoen Low picks that up in the deep. And that is the end of Sarah Nettleton's spell, where she has gone for 18 runs in her 4 overs.
Yeah, it's a A good outing for Nettleton with ball in hand, coming into the side and making the most of it. 69 for 5 after 13. Again, that required run rate creeps up. Yes, they got through the over very well. Did the 6 Gungle Garden Route Badgers, but they need more of those and maybe a few more boundaries to feel like they're still in this game. But with these two at the wicket, they'll certainly have some hope in the Badgers dugout. Change of bowling now.
A change of bowling from the corner drive end. Refilwe Munchu coming into bowl. Right arm seamer to Giselle Abrams with a field of having a third man out the ring, cow corner and a long on. First ball up and it's a bit straight and work to the mid-wicket region, and Madison Landsman just misses that, and I'd say wrong end. Good backing up there from Sarah Nettleton. That's a good start for Refilwe Munchu.
No ball means a free hit is in the offing here. Not a good way to start for Muncho. So where is Bonya going to go here? Just remember that they are allowed to change the field because of the change in strike. Now she's decided she's going to come over the wicket here. Good look to hit. Full and straight.
That's a bit straighter there too, and it's sort of played across the line, beating that very close mid-wicket fielder, Madison Landsman. And not too expensive of a free hit.
No, I thought she would have given it more of a swipe, Bonya.
Definitely thought the same, and maybe a little bit more airtime. Refilwe Munchu in again, and it's a bit straighter, played across the line where the cow corner fielder, Jenna Evans, will pick that up. And they'll just get the one run off of that. It's a good recovery so far by Refilwe Munchu. This one looks a bit wayward, and it's flicked off the legs for 4 runs over the backward square leg. What a shot off those legs. Picked up so nicely. Just Refilwe Munchu, I think, bowling a bit straight there.
A little bit wayward there. She's aiming for that middle and leg, but too wayward. And Bonya was only too happy to pounce, whips it away, and it's 4 runs. Needed boundary for the 6 Gungle Garden Route Badgers. 65 from 39, the equation now.
Rate achieved currently at 5.7, rate required currently at 10, so I think they'll definitely need to push on a little bit more than they currently are, even though they are starting to get that 1 or 2 boundaries in. Munchu in again, and that's also a bit wayward, and that is called a wide by umpire Amy Gear.
Bit of a juggle there from the keeper. Maybe just not getting a clean take there. And another extra in this Muncho over. You said that she's done well to come back and then undoes it with that wild delivery.
Seems to have been a bit inconsistent this over, starting with the no ball and then starting to go down that leg side of the batter. And again to Bonya, and it's again wayward and down the leg side. That's in another extra to the DP World Lions bowling innings.
Yeah, it's wayward from her. And I'm not quite sure what the plan is here though. Is it just the plan is not being followed, or was it maybe just the ball's not coming out the hand in the way she would have wanted? Immediately then Shabnam Ismail makes her way to mid-off, maybe to just for some insight and some advice.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure Shabnam Ishmael's gone that way to try and help the plans get carried forward. Munchu in again. This one's a bit straighter this time, sort of a leg stump region, and Jenna Evans at cow corner will pick that up for just the 1 run. There you go. It looks like Shabnam Ishmael walking towards Rafiwe Munchu to have a little bit of a chat and maybe help with the plans.
It's vital that your senior players are by the side of your younger players, because when the game is poised, you don't want the options of bowlers to dwindle because you know that one of yours is struggling, as this one is just one.
It's trickled all the way down to the 3rd man region. And who better to have than Shabnam Ishmael next to your junior players? Okay, it looks like the plan was to bowl a bit straighter considering the 2 fielders out on the leg side. And that's very straight full and in the slot, and that's whacked straight back at Rafiwe Munchu, and she gets out the way, and that goes for 4 runs. What a great shot by Boyowe to Bonya. And that is the end of the 14th over, and the 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers are currently sitting on 85 for 5 with the changing commentary. Welcome back, Mpo.
Yes, we're seeing a resurgence and a little bit of a fight back from the 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers, who are 85 for 5. Meaning 57 more to win of 36 balls. That last over from Rufilwe Muncho wasn't a great one. 16 runs coming off of it, bringing in a glimmer of hope. But Madison Landsman wants to take that glimmer of hope away by bringing on one of her strike bowlers in Faye Cowling.
Definitely, I think a good option to bring back the strike bowlers, people who've taken wickets, hopefully to try and reduce their run rate, as you don't want them to run away with it.
Yes, remember it's also a league, and there's net run rate and there's bonus points and all the beautiful things in the Hollywoodbets Pro20, and you want to try and get a lot of that if you're the DP World Lions.
Especially considering their first Hollywoodbets Pro20 was a loss against the Knights. They'll be looking to try and get as many points as possible in all the 20 over games.
Fake Howling. Down the leg side, and that's going to race away to the boundary for 4. Relebohile Mkhize couldn't stop that. Just some wayward bowling, bringing the Badgers back into it, and what you would say is that they need a boundary and over, and they've just gotten one in this off the first ball.
Definitely releases a lot of pressure from them. And we mentioned in the first innings that at one point the extras were the highest run scorers for the DP World Lions. The Badgers bowling or having 23 extras in their fielding innings, and so far the DP World Lions have 14 extras.
Those were 4 leg bars in the previous ball as well, so add 4 to that takes us to 18. Lions really need to work on their discipline with the ball. Can't be giving away 3 runs in T20 cricket.
Definitely not wanting to make the batting team's life easier.
Swing and a miss, and it's close. There, Karabo Miso just showing us that possibly have been an edge.
What great movement off of that ball.
Slow ball, inside edge onto the pad. Great skill there from Faye Cowling. Inside of that, those 4 buys, she's given her team 3 dot balls in a row.
I'm sure that will make the Lions skipper Madison Landsman very happy. Just pushing a bit of the pressure back onto the Badgers side.
Shot and stopped. Half stop there by Jenna Evans. They are going to come back for 2. A great fielding there to stop what was an impending 4 runs.
That was hit and struck really hard, so not sure how that got through Jenna Evans, but must have just been an awkward bounce or just hit that hard.
It's a partnership between Abrams and Bonya, 37 runs. Ooh, slower ball, and well picked up by Giselle Abrahams to end the 15th over. It's 91 for 5, with the Badgers needing 51 to win in the last 5 overs.
Definitely. It's so lovely to see the variations from bowlers coming out in this Pro Series, Pro20 coming out. As we know in T20 cricket, the variations are so important.
Our Proteas women will take on England women this coming summer in 3 T20 international matches and 3 one-day international matches. Black Day on Sunday the 8th of December and 1 test match on the 15th to the 18th of December. Visit cricket.co.za for more information on and your tickets. Waza now will be part of it. State of the game with 5 to go. 51 needed of 30. The Badgers are holding on. Taking it deep is a phrase I always say. And they have gotten themselves there. Now they need to find boundaries. And we have Madison Landsman bowling for her side from Polo Drive. Lifted up and it's a stumping chance and it's out. Great work from Landsman and Karabo Miso to break this important partnership, and Vuyaletu Ponya has to go back, but great cricket all round from the lines.
Very deceiving, I'd say, from Madison Landsman. She has this really great way of getting wickets where she floats it up and sends the batter so much that they need to create pace, so they often come down the wicket and it just misses the bat, and Karabo Miso eloquently takes the stumps away.
Yes, 91 for 6. Partnership 6 partnership broken, and a great way to start the final 5 overs in this match. The Lions needed a wicket, and the captain said, "Sailors."
And a very big cheer from the crowd there, enjoying the music and the cricket.
That's a vibe here at the Wanderers, and we've got a fan park later on today to watch the World T20 Championship final between South Africa and New Zealand. So do make your way down here. Some great cricket on the go here, and there'll be some even better cricket later on tonight.
You can bring your camping chairs, your picnic blankets.
Yes, bring one and all to watch history being made by the Proteas women. Michelle May. And she returns the favour to Madison Landsman.
A bit interesting that she's so far down the order today, considering yesterday she was quite at the top order. And there we go, we see again the stumping with Madison Landsman and Karabo Miso.
Michelle May pushing it down to a cow corner for a single. Yeah, she batted well yesterday, not at a run a ball. It was 58 of 71 balls. Opening the batting for the Badgers, surprisingly that she's coming very late tonight, this morning.
Definitely quite.
Yes, and it's an interesting thing when you look at 50 over and the 20 over game in this Hollywoodbets Pro Series. You get the 50 overs on a Saturday and the 20 overs on a Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely
pushed out to cover. And it's interesting because she opened the batting yesterday and did really well. But today she doesn't open the batting. She comes in at number 8. Another one flighted up by Landsman.
I'd say possibly, as we saw there, she quite likes to go quite slowly, and they probably wanted to get an explosive start as possible out here at the DP World Wanderers, considering the total they are chasing.
That's the end of the 16th over. It's 93 for 6. On the 13th pink ODI, we'll see the Proteas men take on Pakistan on Sunday, 22nd December at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at cricket.co.za. And remember, Cricket South Africa and Hollywoodbets are excited to bring you the Hollywoodbets Pro Series Women's Professional League, made up of the Hollywoodbets Pro 50 as well as the Hollywoodbets Pro 20. For more information, go to cricket.co.za. Fake Howley. Madison choosing to bowl Cowling out in this over. Starts off quite well with a dot ball.
I think probably just trying to put the pressure on early so not to put the bowlers in a very pressurized situation later on when there are 2 overs left and runs to get.
Short ball and missed by Giselle Abrahams. She wanted to send that to all parts of the Wanderers, but Faye Cowling was just a little bit too quick.
Looks like we have a very leg side field with a lot of fielders out on the leg side.
Again, another dot ball from Faye Cowling. 3 dots in a row. In T20 cricket, that is gold. Normally the chance of getting a wicket keeps on increasing with the amount of dot balls that you get. Something is going to give. Will the bowler get a wicket? Or the batter get some sort of runs? And as I said it's a wicket. And Faye Cowling gets her second wicket. Giselle Abrams has to go back. It was an easy catch for Jenna Evans at cover. And the Lions have their 7th wicket of the match.
Definitely, as you said, builds a lot of pressure, and we see again there that was just trying to hit it to all parts of the Wanderers, like you said, the previous ball, and an easy catch for Jenna Evans, known for having good hands. She didn't have to move anywhere, just kept those hands up and swallowed that catch.
You gotta love it when the ball just goes to where you're standing. No need for you to move, just wait for it to come down.
No need to try and judge the swirling in the end. No need to run after it. Just sit and wait. That's the best type of catch.
I know the festive season hasn't started, but Jenna Evans might have thought Christmas was here already.
Definitely Christmas in October.
And Julie Hall is the next batsman in. Also a middle order batter in one-day cricket, but in Pro20 she's at the bottom, coming in at number 8 now. It's a bit of a intriguing strategy by the Badgers. And another dot ball, and what these last 2 overs have done, it's effectively stopped the momentum for the Badgers, and any chance they had of winning this game has slowly slipped away with Faye Cowling's bowling. And what a way to end your 4 over spell. 2 for 18 with a wicket maiden. It's 93 for 7. And the Lions are marching on to victory.
That's really well bowled there by Faye Cowling. And as you mentioned earlier, Julia Hall, generally a middle order batter in the 50 over cricket. Because she has a background in hockey, she played a bit of SA under 18 hockey. Her batting in the middle over she's generally there because she has a bit of a sweep shot and a few scoop shots. So I suppose her coming in now with Madison Landsman, it might be a bit effective, but not as effective as a seamer.
Madison throwing it up in the air, trying to entice Michelle May, but Michelle will not be tempted, saying no to the temptation. Tries to sweep LBW appeal, but umpire Amy Gear is unmoved.
Madison.
Outside the line.
I'd have to see a replay, but I think Madison was very keen on that one.
And another one, and it's a wicket. We don't need to see the replay of the LBW because we got a wicket now. Madison Landsman with a golden arm for her team. The only question I'd be asking is, where have you been for the last 17 overs?
Like I said, Madison Landsman often very effective because of the pace she takes off the ball, and here we'll see the replay. I thought it was a bit of an arm ball. Yeah, a bit of an arm ball comes through. Karabo Miso takes that, and an easy stumping for Karabo Miso.
Great glove work from arguably South Africa's best glove woman in Karabo Miso, but great presence of mind from Madison Landsman to throw one in there. A little bit quicker, and Michelle May has to go back for 1. Now we're into the true tale. Kaya Kazimate probably thought she wasn't going to bat today after taking 2 wickets and bowling really well. And now she has to come in and probably play a similar role to what Shubnam Ishmael did for the Lions.
Very possibly. I'm sure both tails from both teams were rather shocked when they were putting on pads and walking out there to bat. Has been a day full of wickets.
That's what you get here at the DP World Wanderers. We still have the fan park later on today. Gates open at 2 p.m. But you can come in now and just settle down with the camp chair as we ready yourselves for South African, the Proteas women in another World Cup final. It's not Cape Town in 2023, so there won't be a lot of sadness. But hopefully there'll be a lot of joy in Dubai in 2024. Another arm ball, a lot quicker there, just outside the off stump. Madison Landsman racing through the overs. This one, she gives a little bit of flight to say, hey, you can hit it. There's no one on the leg side. And Kaya Kazimate says, no, that's fine. Thank you. Oh, Kakazi wanted to go for that one. But that's the end of the over. Madison Landsman 2 for 2. Another wicket maiden for the Lions women.
Interestingly enough, if you didn't know, oh, there we go. We've got a summary coming up here with the highest run scorers so far. Bonya, one of the middle order batters, 23 of 19. Second highest score, Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg, 20 of 16, bowled by Relebogile Mkhize, and the third highest scorer, Nadine Mudley, bowled by Shabnam Ishmael, caught by Sunit Fulyunlo. Madison Landsman actually being the first under 19 lady to take a hat-trick, and we look at the bowling figures here with the highest wicket takers being all taking 2. Madison Landsman taking 2 wickets, Shabnam Ishmael taking 2, Faye Cowling taking 2 wickets, and Relebogile Mkhize taking 2 wickets.
Similar to the Badgers, 4 bowlers took 2 wickets each, but we've got Shabnam Ishmael who wants to break that streak. Can she be the first to get 3 wickets today? Oh, great play there. Just off the back foot, and it's going to race away to the boundary for 4. It's using the pace off of Ishmael's ball. Julie Hall doing a good job for her team, just keeping them alive. They need 24.5 runs and over, which effectively means they need a boundary every ball.
The 6-gun girl Garden Route Badgers currently need 45 off of 11 balls with a rate required of 24.5.
Yeah, that last 4, really, it was just all timing. Shot and anger, and there's a chance at the non-striker's end. Everybody had to clear as Faye Cowling thought she was in the business.
And Shabnam Ishmael getting out of the way very quickly. Hadn't set herself to collect that ball as we see it quite full and straight, and hit straight to Faye Cowling. A quick pickup and a quick throw, and Shabnam Ishmael getting out of the way very quickly.
Yeah, you don't want to get injured from an errant throw.
No, definitely not. And
especially from one of your fast bowlers.
Exactly, and Shabnam Ishmael is about to head off to the Big Bash League in Australia, so wouldn't want to get injured before that.
Short ball, and there's a bit of an edge. They're asking the umpire. And he's given it. She started walking, did Julie Hall. And Shubnam finally gets the 3rd wicket. She's the first bowler today to take 3 wickets. And it was a bumper.
Absolutely love watching Shabnam Ishmael bowl those bumpers. Absolutely rushing the batters and often getting them in trouble. Here we go as we watch the replay. Right arm over the wicket to the right-handed Julia Hall. Pitch is quite straight and it angles into the batter, making it very uncomfortable for her to play and getting the edge.
Yeah, with those ones you just feel like you want to swat away at them. And in this case she did try. And you would have thought that the ball would be quicker than the bat, but somehow some ball caught the bat, and Julie Hall is walking. And now the last batter from the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers, their best bowler today, Faith de Jong.
I just wonder if maybe Julia Hall caught a glove on that, because I saw her lift up her hand just after she sort of played the shot, so I don't know if that's a...
Let's have a look at that again with all of you. Some quality fast bowling. Yeah, it's a glove. Great call there, Sarah. Got the eyes of an eagle.
Need that when you have 142 gram white balls flying at you.
Full and straight, and Faith de Jong does well to keep that out.
As a young tail ender coming in and facing Shabnam Ismail, that must be quite a feat.
So it's an honor, and it's also a little bit scary to face the fastest bowler in women's cricket.
The person who's bowled the fastest ball ever in women's cricket, that must be incredibly scary for the poor tail enders.
And she's done well there, and she gets off strike down the leg side. Well done, Faith de Jong.
You know, just moving away a bit from the ball.
Close your eyes, throw the bat at it, and if there's contact, you go.
If there's contact, it flies. But the fast bowlers, that's why it's great facing a fast bowler. You don't have to you don't have to swing everything at it to try and get the ball to go somewhere.
But the brave ones need to get in line.
Yeah, the brave ones need to get in line, that's true.
Let's see if Kazimate will be a brave one, yeah? And she does. She gets in line, plays it straight back to Kirsty Thompson. End of the 19th over, and Shabnam Ismail finishes her 4-over spell with 3 wickets for 19 runs. And now 1 over remaining for the DP World Lions, and it is also, as signaled, a power play over to the batting side, as the Lions women have not been able to conclude their overs in the regulation time, and so they're going to be only allowed to have 3 fielders outside the ring. Madison Landsman to close out this match. Another floaty.
Played that one a bit early.
Embracing the floaty is Madison Landsman today.
It's so effective.
Oh, another floaty, and played late by Faith de Jong.
It's so deceiving too, because as a few people will know, at the Wanderers, leg spin gets a little bit of an extra bounce naturally, and then you've also got the floatiness, so...
That wasn't floated in, that was darted in by Landsman for the 3rd ball of that over. 3 dots now. Will Faith de Jong want to do something here?
Possibly, I think maybe the best course of action would be to just bat it out, considering that the total's not chaseable and not giving the DP World Lions a bonus point.
Yes. I think that's the crucial thing for... Oh, that one was darted in and pulled by Faith de Jong for a single. 43 runs needed to win off of 1 ball remaining in this game. 99 for 9. Can they get to 100? And they do not. That is the end of the match. The Lions win by 42 runs. The 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers can only get to 99 for 9 as the DP World Lions get their first win of the Hollywoodbets Pro20 series and a clean sweep in this series with the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. It's been an expert bowling performance from the Lions as their big guns stood up for them and brought them home in this game.
And I'd say really a great all-round performance today, and a special mention to Shabnam Ismail, who came in down the order and still managed to score 37 runs, saving the Lions a bit there and making it a better total or an easier total to defend.
Yes, and the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers will lament the extras but most importantly, the bowling effort towards the end that enabled the Lions to get to 141. And it wasn't great. It wasn't plain sailing for the Lions as well, as you've mentioned, Sarah, with their batting woes continuing, but being saved by Shubnam Ismail, who looks in fine nick for the Big Bash League, as she's most likely to head off there. Great win for the Lions, and remember, you can still come through to the Wanderers and watch the World T20 World Cup final between South Africa and New Zealand. It is a fan park here at the Wanderers. Entrance is free. Please be here at gates open at 2 p.m. If you look at the batting card for the Badgers, 99 for 9. Violetu Bornia in the middle order kind of gave them some sort of impetus and a glimmer of hope, along with Nicolene Janssen van Rensburg, 20 of 16. Nadine Moodley started off well, 18 of 13, but wickets just kept on falling in regular intervals, and the Badgers ended up slowing down to a halt at 99 for 9. And from a bowling perspective, it's 3 for 19 for Shubnam Ismail and 2 wickets apiece for Faye Cowling, Rilabukile Mkhize and Madison Lunsman.
Yeah, great performance there with those bowlers all being able to pick up wickets, and a good end to the day for the Lions, winning their first Hollywoodbets Pro20 game this season. Sure, the Lions are hoping there will be many more game wins to come today, and as we mentioned again, the fan park at the DP World Wanderers, there is jumping castles for the kids. Bring on down your picnic blankets and your camping chairs,
Yes,
and come support the ladies down here for the T20 World Cup final.
and from ourselves here at the Wanderers, myself, Paul Mutlani, Sarah Barber and David Midgley, it's good afternoon and good luck to the Proteas women.